the hell?
Thank you for tuning into another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today I've got a collection of clips ranging from cryptid sightings to glitches in our matrix that may just leave you shocked. Ready? Let's jump in. We start today's episode with a clip taken back in 2006, which has left many unsettled and questioning what they just witnessed. A man braving the woods at night found himself in an encounter that would be etched into his memory, and now into the internet's collective consciousness. While walking through the dense, shadowy forest, he noticed something unusual, a pale figure crouched by some bushes nearby. Its ghostly appearance stood out against the dark surroundings, drawing the man's attention. Driven by a mix of curiosity and concern, he decided to investigate, pulling out his camera to capture what he assumed might be a stray animal or perhaps someone in need of help. But as he approached, things took a terrifying turn. The figure suddenly turned towards him, revealing its hollow, glowing eyes. It was bald and gaunt, with skin stretched tightly over its skeletal frame, so thin that the shoulder blades and ribs were clearly visible. Despite its almost human form, there was something deeply unsettling and inhuman about it, a wrongness that sent a chill down the man's spine. Before he could react, the creature lunged at him with alarming speed. The man stumbled back and in a panic dropped his camera, which captured only the briefest glimpse of the creature before the footage went dark. The encounter ended as quickly as it began, with the man fleeing. When the video was later recovered and shared, it sparked widespread debate and fear. Some viewers believed the man had encountered a supernatural being, possibly a skinwalker or wendigo. Others speculated it might have been a feral human, someone who'd lost their mind in humanity after years of isolation in the wild. Skeptics, of course, questioned the authenticity of the footage, suggesting it could have been an elaborate prank. But what do you think?
Míralo, míralo, mi papá bailando con mira, mira.
Next, we got a family enjoying a cozy bonfire night with laughter filling the air. This man is holding a child in his arms, swaying back and forth behind the fire. You can even hear the claps from the people behind the camera. But then something eerie happens that turns this heartwarming moment into a scene straight out of a horror movie. Well, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you get it. As the man dances, a ghostly figure suddenly appears, trailing him closely. This figure isn't just lurking in the background, it seems to be following his every move. When he steps to the right, it follows. When he sways to the left, it mirrors him, as if it's trying to stay as close as possible. What makes this even more unsettling is the appearance of the figure. It's transparent, almost like a shadow or a wisp of smoke, but it has a distinct form. Its arms are stretched out, and it seems to be reaching toward the child, almost as if it's trying to take the child from the man's arms. The figure's movements are eerily synchronized with the man's, making it impossible to dismiss it as just a trick of the light or a camera glitch. The most terrifying part, no one noticed this figure in real time. It wasn't until the family reviewed the footage later that they realized what had been captured on camera. We don't have a context to the footage, so we cannot tell if this is a family member or just some random entity.
Míralo, míralo, mi papá bailando con mira, mira.
Definitely looks blue.
It's because of
What in the world, though? Like, that's like vibrant blue. I'm tripping.
When we think of shadows, we usually imagine them as dark, almost black reflections of objects blocking the light. So imagine the confusion and surprise when a woman stumbled upon something completely out of the ordinary. Blue shadows. Yeah, blue shadows. It all happened while she was in the woods. Perhaps she was out for a walk, enjoying the tranquility of nature, when she came across a cluster of twigs lying on the ground. At first glance, nothing seemed unusual about them. The twigs were just that, ordinary, brown, and brittle, scattered across the ground. But then something caught her eye that made her do a double take. The shadows cast by these twigs weren't the typical dark hues we're accustomed to. Instead, they were a vibrant, unmistakable blue. Now, it's not that twigs themselves were blue, no, they were the usual color. There was nothing around that could explain this bizarre phenomenon. No blue light source, no reflective surface, nothing. Just these twigs and their strikingly blue shadow stood out against the ground. How could this be possible? What could cause a shadow to take on such an unexpected hue? I was getting ready to share this paranormal theory when Julia stepped in. It turned out this was taken during blue hour. For those unfamiliar with it, like I was, it refers to a period of twilight in the morning or evening when the sun is just below the horizon, creating a soft, diffuse light that gives everything a bluish tint. During this time, the sky takes on a deep blue hue, and because the sun isn't directly visible, the light is scattered more in the atmosphere, emphasizing shorter wavelengths like blue. Shadows during the blue hour appear blue because they're primarily lit by the ambient sky rather than direct sunlight. So yeah, nothing paranormal here, just a natural phenomenon.
Definitely looks blue.
It's because of the
What in the
sky.
world, though? Like, that's like vibrant blue. I'm tripping.
This is exactly why you should think twice before venturing into the woods after dark. Just a few months ago, on June the 26th, a woman decided to take a hike in the woods of Ohio after sundown. What started as a peaceful walk quickly turned into something straight out of a horror movie.
Yeah. Hi. Hi. I can't go home. Please, I'm leaving.
As she made her way deeper into the forest, an uneasy feeling crept over her. You know, that gut feeling you get when something's just not right. She couldn't shake it, so she pulled out her phone and began filming her surroundings. That's when she noticed it, something lurking behind a nearby tree. At first, it was just a faint glow, almost imperceptible. But as she focused the camera, the glowing eyes became clear. They were attached to a massive dark figure that blended so well with the night that you could barely make out its outline. But it was there, watching her. Understandably shaken, the woman decided it was time to leave. But as she hurried out of the woods and into a clearing, she realized that whatever this thing was, it wasn't done with her. The creature followed her out of the woods, and now under the open sky, she could see it more clearly. It was enormous, towering over the landscape, and those glowing eyes seemed almost unnatural. Some, like Aaron, are convinced that what she encountered was a Bigfoot, a legendary creature that's been part of folklore for generations. But others, like Julius, are more skeptical, dismissing the footage as nothing more than a hoax designed to scare people. But what do you also think?
Hi. I can't go home. Please, I'm leaving.
In an almost similar incident, a man was walking through the woods when he stumbled upon an old, abandoned well. Naturally curious, he decided to peer inside, perhaps expecting nothing more than darkness or maybe some forgotten debris. But what he found was far more unsettling. As he leaned over to look inside, his camera captured something chilling, a pair of glowing eyes staring back at him from the depths of the well. These eyes, almost unnaturally bright, seemed to follow his every movement, as if the creature they belonged to was just as curious about him as he was about it. Startled, the man quickly retreated and ran back from the scene. Now, unlike other encounters where Bigfoot might be the suspect, this creature didn't seem to fit that description. Julius speculates that it could be an animal trapped down there, its eyes reflecting the daylight, but the man who witnessed it isn't so sure. The eyes seemed too large, too eerie for an ordinary animal. Could it be an animal or something far more enigmatic? This next footage is hands down one of the strangest orb sightings I've come across, if it is indeed real. In the video, you can see a chopper flying steadily in the sky, seemingly on a routine flight. Then out of nowhere, an orb appears, gliding smoothly from the right side of the frame. What happens next is unbelievable. The orb moves closer to the helicopter, and in a matter of seconds it engulfs the entire craft. The helicopter vanishes without a trace, as if it was swallowed whole by this mysterious orb. And just like that, the orb continues to float away, carrying the helicopter within it, as though nothing has happened. This footage leaves you questioning what exactly we're dealing with here. Could this be some advanced technology, extraterrestrial in origin, or perhaps a sophisticated illusion? Or is there another explanation entirely? These two images were taken by a man who was out hunting in the woods. He stumbled upon an abandoned shack deep in the forest, and what he captured near the shack was truly unsettling. Standing on two legs was a creature, but the face was hard to make out because it was in motion when the photo was taken. However, the lower part of the creature is a bit more visible, enough to spark some serious debate. Now, there's a conspiracy theory floating around about dog-like creatures being used as soldiers or possibly being artificially created. As usual, Aaron is convinced that this is one of those creatures, while Julius dismisses it as a hoax. What do you think, though? Could this be evidence of a secret experiment, or is it just another case of misidentification or digital trickery? Next, we've got a clip that the uploader insists is a glitch in the Matrix. Take a look. According to him, he was going about his day when he noticed this strange bird-like creature suddenly start to drop from the sky. He was already filming at this point and managed to capture just the moment the bird-like creature all of a sudden started to fall. He insists it's not natural, and when you look at the clip, there's something off about it. I did some digging around, starting from the original post, and almost everyone who saw it was convinced it was a weather balloon. You see it too. What do you think? When most people come across creatures like skinwalkers or other cryptids, their first instinct is to run. But in this rather shocking encounter, one man decided to do the exact opposite.
I know he's right there.
It all began when he was suddenly awakened in the middle of the night by a strange noise coming from outside. Instead of ignoring it, he grabbed his phone and stepped outside to investigate, a decision that would lead him to a truly unsettling discovery. The eerie noise drew him towards a massive tree in his yard. As he cautiously approached, his phone's camera captured something perched at the very top of the tree. It was a pale, ghastly head with glowing eyes, staring down at him from the darkness. The creature seemed to be watching him intently, its eyes glowing ominously against the night sky. The sheer size of the tree and the height at which the creature was perched made the sight all the more terrifying. But what's truly remarkable is that the man didn't turn and flee. He stood his ground, documenting the encounter. Now, if I were in his shoes, I wouldn't even have stepped outside after hearing strange noises, let alone ventured close to that tree. But you have to admit, this guy has nerves of steel. What could this creature have been?
I know he's right there.
These days, fewer people are tuning into traditional TV. With everyone streaming or scrolling through social media, live shows just don't get the attention they used to. Attendance has dropped, and the excitement of a packed audience seems to be fading. But it looks like some event organizers might have found a solution, or perhaps a rather disturbing one.
De La Hoya's girl, wife? What is that? That shit looks uncanny as fuck. Fuck no. Look at that.
A man was watching a boxing match when he noticed something strange in the audience. Behind the ring, among the sea of spectators, was a woman, a very odd-looking woman. She was seated, staring straight at the ring, but something about her appearance was off. The man paused his TV, and that's when things got really strange. As you focus on the woman, it becomes clear that she doesn't look real at all. Her face was expressionless, almost like that of a mannequin. If this woman is indeed fake, it raises some unsettling questions. Are organizers now filling seats with fake audience members to make shows appear more popular than they are? And if so, how many more of these artificial spectators might be out there blending in with the crowd? Just imagine a stadium filled with fake people, with loudspeakers playing recorded cheers to simulate the excitement of a live crowd. It's a bizarre and eerie thought, isn't it? What do you think about this strange discovery? Could this be the future of live shows, or is there something else going on here? Share your thoughts in the comments. We're curious to hear what you think.
Are we just gonna ignore De La Hoya's girl, wife? What is that? That shit looks uncanny as fuck. Fuck no. Look at that.
From here, it looks like a triangle.
It is a triangle with a red light in the middle.
Wow. Wow, that's a weird looking craft.
It is. The red light is right in the center of the triangle.
This intriguing footage was captured by a couple in Canada while out one evening. They noticed something unusual in the sky, a strange-looking craft slowly moving above them. What made this sighting even more peculiar was the craft's appearance. At its center, there was a red light blinking steadily as it moved through the sky. The couple couldn't quite make out what it was, but the craft's unusual shape and eerie glow of the light left them a little unsettled. What do you think? Could this be evidence of extraterrestrial activity, or is there a more mundane explanation for this mysterious craft?
Now this is where you need to zoom in.
There's something right beside that thing. Here's stuff moving.
We all know that gravity keeps us grounded on Earth, which is why if you ever saw a flying person, you'd be left with more questions than answers. But what in the world is this?
Мы, значит, такие гуляем, а тут, ебать, на проводе стул висит, блядь.
In this bizarre footage, we see something even stranger, a wooden chair floating in the sky. Yeah, you heard that right. This chair is not just floating, it's also rotating slowly beside an electric line. Now those power lines are pretty high up, so how on earth did the chair get up there? What makes this even more puzzling is that there are no visible ropes or wires holding it up. The person who captured this footage filmed it from the ground, pointing the camera upwards so it's clear that the chair is genuinely suspended in midair. And it's not part of some elaborate show or stunt. There's no one around, no crowd, nothing to suggest this is staged. It seems like the person filming was the only one who noticed this strange phenomenon. So what's really going on here? Could this be some sort of glitch in the Matrix? We'd love to hear your theories. Share your thoughts in the comments. One thing birds, especially pigeons, are known for is cooing while in flight. Nobody wants to be at the end of that, and believe me when I tell you, it's not a pleasant experience. Anyway, moving on. This man had the unfortunate incident happening to him, but fortunately for him, it was on his car. He got close to it, and he realized something. There was something in the bird poo, and it was actually moving. Talk about a disturbing scene. I wanted to do the research and tell you guys what that could be, but couldn't bring myself to. I believe there are some experts in our audience. Can you guys educate us, please? We'll be reading. This video was captured on a trail camera set up by a hunter who was hoping to record the local wildlife in the area. But what he ended up capturing left him utterly shocked. Take a look. In the footage, you can see a massive, dark figure standing about 7 feet tall in the middle of the woods. This creature isn't just passing by, it's clearly agitated. It begins throwing logs and pushing branches around with force as if it's angry or upset about something. The creature continues its tantrum for a while before finally retreating back into the depths of the forest. Now, we all know this isn't a bear or an ape. The size, the behavior, it all points to one being, the legendary Bigfoot. But what could have made it so angry? What could have triggered this outburst? It's rare to catch a glimpse of Bigfoot, let alone see it in such a state. This footage raises more questions than answers. Could something have disturbed its territory, or was it reacting to the presence of the trail camera itself? Let's take a look at this intriguing video captured by someone on their drive home one night in Belgium. As they were driving, they noticed something unusual in the sky, a horizontal arrangement of blue lights hovering ahead of them. At first, the lights appeared stationary as the car moved forward. My team and I initially thought it must just be a reflection on the car window, but then something strange happened. The lights began to contract, pulling together in a tight cluster, and then they suddenly expanded outward again. This was no ordinary reflection. Something was definitely going on in the sky. Many people who've seen the video believe that these lights could be a UFO, possibly hiding behind the clouds. The way the lights moved and changed shape certainly points to something out of the ordinary. Could it be that we're witnessing a sighting of an unidentified flying object, or is there another explanation we're missing? This footage is absolutely mind-boggling. Captured by a security camera outside a station in India, it shows something you'd only expect to see in a movie. At first glance, everything seems normal. People minding their own business, motorcyclists parked, and the usual hustle and bustle of a busy junction. But then out of nowhere, a motorcycle glides into view. What makes this so bizarre is that there's no rider on the bike. It just rolls on its own, navigating as if it had a mind of its own. The way it maneuvers, taking a smooth, calculated curve into the station without bumping into anything, is beyond eerie. The witnesses who saw it were understandably shocked. This isn't something you see every day, if ever. It's almost like the motorcycle was being controlled by some invisible force, but what could it be? We all know our drain pipes are connected to sewers that eventually lead to a central place, carrying everything from dirty water to chemical waste and more. But what happens when something unusual flows through? A passerby captured this unsettling footage while walking by a large gutter where the sewer system was discharging its liquids. As they watched, something shocking happened. A red liquid began pouring out into the gutter. The sight of this red liquid flowing freely raises a chilling questions. Could that be blood? It's hard to say for sure, but the mere thought of it is enough to send shivers down your spine. What could have caused this, and where did it come from? Is it some kind of industrial waste, or is there a more sinister explanation? When you decide to go camping, you have to be ready for anything that might come your way, especially when you're out in the wild where the unknown lurks.
What the hell is that? What the hell is that, man?
A man experienced this firsthand during a solo camping trip in the woods. In the dead of night, he woke up with the urge to relieve himself. As he stepped out of his tent, something caught his eye just a few meters away, partially hidden behind some bushes. There, in the darkness, he saw it, a pair of glowing eyes staring right back at him. But that wasn't all. As he focused, he noticed a shadowy arm emerge from the bushes. The creature's gaze locked onto the man who was frozen in fear, his camera capturing the unsettling encounter. The creature was shrouded in the shadows of the night, making it impossible to determine what it was. Was it just a nocturnal animal, its eyes reflecting the light? Or was it something more mysterious, perhaps a cryptid, one of those legendary creatures that people whisper about but rarely see?
What the hell? Bro, it's got hands!
This footage has got to be one of the most convincing pieces of glitch in the Matrix evidence circulating on the internet. It was captured by a man who was sitting in his parked car in a parking lot when he noticed something incredibly odd happening just a few cars away. Take a look. A woman seated in the front passenger seat of a car gets out, walks around to the driver's side, sits down, and then, almost like she's following a script, she gets out again, walks around the back of the car, and re-enters the passenger seat. Now here's where things get really strange. According to the man who took the footage, he'd already watched her repeat this bizarre sequence 3 times before he started filming. It's as if she's caught in some sort of a loop, endlessly repeating the same actions without any apparent reason. This isn't just a simple case of someone forgetting something and retracing their steps. She's literally moving in a perfect circle over and over again, as if she's stuck in a loop. It's almost like watching a character in a video game that's being glitched, endlessly following the same path, no way out. What could possibly explain this? Was she in some kind of trance, completely unaware of what she was doing, or could this be a genuine glitch in the fabric of reality? The idea that we're living in a matrix isn't new, but it's certainly a theory that sparks debate. Not everyone is convinced, but every now and then we come across something that makes us question reality. Aaron, a firm believer in the Matrix theory, shared a video that he thinks is a perfect example of a glitch in the Matrix. In this footage, you see a hand tapping on a mirror hanging on the wall. But here's where things get strange. In the reflection, there's a butterfly calmly resting in front of the mirror. The odd part? In real life, there's no butterfly to be seen, only its reflection exists. This airy phenomenon leaves us wondering, how can something appear in a reflection without being present in reality? For those who believe in the Matrix theory, this video is compelling evidence that we might be living in a simulated reality where not everything behaves as it should. But what do you think? Is this just a visual anomaly, or could there be something more to it? Here we go with another viral video in the ongoing saga of strange, rubbery foods.
I want to tag Frito-Lay or whoever makes this Lay's, whoever. But look at these chips when I open them up. I bit one, and this is rubber. They're rubber.
In this footage, a man shares his recent purchase from Walmart, a bag of Lay's chips. But when he opens the bag and feels the chips, something's not right. Instead of the familiar crispy texture, these chips feel oddly rubbery, almost like they're made of something other than potatoes. The bizarre texture has left many people concerned and puzzled. How could something as ordinary as a bag of chips end up feeling like rubber? Is this a manufacturing error, or could there be something more concerning going on with our food supply? This isn't the first time we've seen reports of rubber-like foods, but each new instance adds to the growing list of questions. What do you think could be causing this strange phenomenon? Have you ever experienced something similar with your food? Share your thoughts and the experiences in the comments.
Listen how they sound in this bag. They sound like chips in the bag, but these are rubber. I need answers.
What you are looking at is said to be the power source of UFOs, a nuclear battery known as the Paul Bronze radioactive battery. This mysterious device has sparked numerous theories, with some claiming it's the key to understanding how extraterrestrial crafts operate. The battery is believed to harness a form of radioactive energy far more advanced than anything currently known to humanity. It's said to have the ability to generate immense power, possibly enough to fuel the complex and otherworldly technologies attributed to UFOs. The Paul Bronze radioactive battery has become a focal point in discussions about extraterrestrial technology and the potential for human discovery. Could this be a glimpse into the advanced energy systems of alien civilizations, or is it simply a misunderstood piece of technology from our world, shrouded in secrecy and speculation?
I've got this,
What do you think this is? A strange mass of weird-looking things on a couch with insects buzzing all around it. Well, if you guessed something unusual, you're right. What you're looking at is actually a yellow jacket nest. The mass on the couch is their home, and those insects flying about are the yellow jackets themselves. This spectacle was discovered in an abandoned shack deep in the woods. It's not every day you come across something like this, a nest taking over a piece of furniture, turning a simple couch into a hive of activity. Yellow jackets are known for their aggressive behavior, and finding their nest in such an unexpected place is both fascinating and terrifying. How did this nest end up here, and what other surprises might be lurking in that old shack?
I've got this,
예.有点流啊。哎，살짝 쪄라마네。来了哟，来了哟。那个是啥子虫？
This has got to be the boogiest caterpillar I've seen yet. A hairy one with a mohawk. This little guy was just casually moving along on a rock, looking like he was ready to rock out. Well, this isn't just an ordinary caterpillar. What you're looking at is the Palarisa cervina caterpillar. It might seem like it's dressed for a punk rock concert, but this is just nature's way of showing off its creativity. This caterpillar's unique appearance isn't just for show though. The hair and mohawk-like features might help it blend in with its surroundings or even ward off predators. It's amazing how something so small can have such a big personality. Have you seen anything like this before?
来了哟，来了哟。那个是啥子虫？
Dares can be thrilling and fun, but they can also come with unexpected risks. Have you ever heard the story of Sam Ballard? Sam was a young, adventurous boy who was dared by his friends to swallow a slug. It seemed like a harmless prank at the time, and Sam, being a good sport, went along with it. But what happened next was far from a joke. The slug he swallowed was carrying a parasitic worm called Angiostrangulus cantonensis, which can cause a rare but serious infection known as rat lungworm disease. Unfortunately, Sam contracted this infection, which led to severe complications. He fell into a coma, and when he eventually woke up, he was left paralyzed and in need of constant care. So the next time you dare to do something, remember Sam Ballard's story and consider whether it's really worth the risk. A man was walking in the woods at night when he noticed something unsettling, a figure crouched by a tree, watching him. Instinctively, he began to film, and what he captured is truly disturbing. As the camera focuses, a woman in a short white robe slowly stands up, her body trembling uncontrollably. Then, in a series of unsettling sideways steps, she begins to move towards him. Her legs are crooked, adding to the eerie, unnatural way she moves. After a few short steps, she suddenly launches herself towards him with terrifying speed. Let's watch that again and take a closer look at her appearance. This figure doesn't seem human. She has no eyes, just two dark, empty holes where they should be. A long black hair is tied into two pigtails on either side of her head, adding to her ghostly appearance. Her mouth is wide open, but what's truly disturbing is that her mouth isn't just on her face. It extends unnaturally to the side of her head, as if her very anatomy is twisted and wrong. This sight is beyond unsettling. It's as if she's something from a nightmare, something that defies the normal rules of human appearance. Whatever it is, it's clear that it's not human.
Zoom in on the shark in the distance.
I wonder if we could get a quick zoom on the shark.
Come in tight if you have it.
Well, I think I know who this guy is, but Bruce, since you're here.
During a deep-sea research expedition, the camera captured footage of a truly unique fish. This creature had a large, almost bulbous head, and its body moved with the fluid, undulating motion reminiscent of a catfish. But this wasn't just an ordinary fish, it was a ghost cat shark. The ghost cat shark is a rare and mysterious species, often found lurking in the dark depths of the ocean, where few other creatures venture. Its eerie appearance, with a head that seems almost too large for its body and a ghostly pale complexion, has intrigued marine biologists and ocean enthusiasts alike. What makes this creature even more fascinating is its elusive nature. Ghost cat sharks are rarely seen, and even less frequently captured on camera, making this footage a valuable glimpse into the life of one of the ocean's most enigmatic inhabitants. As it glides through the water, you can see why it earned its spectral name. Its movement is both graceful and haunting, like a shadow in the deep.
Okay, this looks like a cat shark in the genus Aprostourus. That's my take on it. Yeah, definitely with the shovel-like head and an anal fin. So I don't think there are any records of this genus Aprostourus from Lake Gatol, and we have no idea of what species this would be because there are a number of species in the genus, and none have been recorded from this area.
There's no shortage of shocking footage online. Some of it feels very real, while others are just clearly fake. let's take a look at this one. The owner of this footage claimed to have spotted a tree in the woods moving on its own. At first glance, it might seem eerie, the tree shifting and swaying with no wind, almost as if it's alive. But come on guys, let's take a closer look. You can clearly see ropes tied to the tree, likely being pulled off camera to create the illusion of movement. It's a clever attempt, but it doesn't hold up under scrutiny. I think we've all seen better hoaxes than this, don't you? This video was filmed at Tumati Beach on the Paraguana Peninsula in Venezuela, capturing something truly unusual. A strange light was spotted on the horizon over the ocean in the dead of night. It started as a vivid blue light, then shifted to red, before gradually dimming and finally vanishing into the darkness. This wasn't like any fireworks display, it was far more mysterious. The light had the distinct shape of an orb, and you can clearly see its glow reflecting brightly in the sky on the surfaces of the water. What makes this sighting even more intriguing is how it behaved, changing colors and then disappearing without a trace. It wasn't a flare or any typical marine signal, it was something else, something harder to explain. Could this be evidence of extraterrestrial activity?
Can somebody please explain this to me? How does the mirror know what the heck I'm doing behind it? Like, there's no way it could see me wiggling my finger through it. You know, let's go bigger. There's no way. Oh, you're kidding, bigger.
This man was completely shocked by what he discovered. He held a piece of paper up to a mirror, pressing it against the surface with his fingers. Now, as he wiggled his fingers behind the paper, they were hidden from view, at least that's what you'd expect, but when he looked at the reflection from the side, something strange happened. The mirror showed his fingers wiggling even though they were completely covered by the paper. Intrigued, he tried the experiment again, this time using a larger object to block his fingers, and yet the result was the same. The reflection still showed his fingers moving, as if the mirror was somehow seeing through the object. His reaction was pure disbelief. He repeated the process multiple times, each time more shocked than the last. The mirror's reflection seemed to defy the laws of physics, showing something that should have been impossible. What could be causing this strange phenomenon?
Oh, you're kidding, bigger. Right in the middle. I give up. I can't wrap my brain around it. I'm done.
I know it's been a couple of days, but here's a bonus footage for you. For those new to our channel, it's a chance to show us how sharp you are. What do you think you're looking at? Instead of hearing it from me, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Both conspiracies and scientific theories are allowed. Let's make this fun. Believe me when I say there are a lot of strange things out there that we don't fully understand, and some inventions can be downright disturbing. Recently, my team and I came across something that fits that description perfectly: the EATR robot. EATR, which stands for Energetically Autonomous Tactical Robot, is designed with a unique and unsettling ability. It can refuel itself using biological waste. This means that, in theory, the robot could use anything organic for fuel, including human corpses. The idea behind EATR was to create a machine that could operate independently in hostile environments without needing a constant supply of traditional fuel. But the implications of a robot that can consume organic material for energy? While the creators have assured the public that the robot is designed to focus on plant-based material, the very concept of a machine that could theoretically consume any biological matter, including humans, is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. What do you think about this invention? Does it seem like a groundbreaking step in technology, or does it cross a line that should not be crossed? Have you ever heard of petrification? All around the world, there are giant stone-like structures that eerily resemble snakes, dinosaurs, and other creatures. When you look closely at the texture of these rocks, they bear a striking resemblance to the actual creature they mimic, almost as if they've been turned to stone. Could this be evidence that these animals really existed and were petrified over time? Some people believe these formations might be the remnants of ancient creatures, somehow fossilized in such a way that their true forms were perfectly preserved in stone. The theory is intriguing. Imagine if these giant stone snakes or dinosaur-shaped rocks were once living, breathing beings caught in some catastrophic event that turned them to stone. Of course, more scientists explain these formations as naturally occurring rock formations that, through erosion and weathering, just happen to resemble familiar shapes. But for those who enjoy the mysteries of the world, the idea of petrified creatures hidden in plain sight is hard to resist. What do you think? Could these stone structures be remnants of ancient creatures, or are they just the tricks of nature? A man was exploring an abandoned building when he stumbled upon something truly bizarre. As he cautiously made his way through the decaying halls, he noticed movement in the shadows ahead. He quickly pulled out his camera and started recording, only to capture something that has since sparked heated debates online. There, in the dim light, was a short creature, its small hunched figure climbing in an open structure that seemed to lead downward. The creature moved with an unsettling agility, disappearing into the darkness below before the man could get a closer look. The footage quickly went viral, with many viewers insisting that what the man captured was no ordinary animal. Some claimed it looked like a goblin, a mythical creature known in folklore for its mischievous and often sinister behavior. The creature's small stature, long limbs, and eerie movements certainly gave it an otherworldly appearance. However, not everyone was convinced. Skeptics were quick to point out that the footage could have easily been edited, arguing that the creature's movements appeared unnatural, almost as if it were a CGI creation. What do you think? A woman is chilling at home with her dog, thinking everything is normal when suddenly she hears some strange noises coming from one of the rooms. Now, being the brave soul she is, she decides to investigate. Little did she know her whole reality was about to somersault. As she cautiously makes her way to the source of the noise, she's probably expecting a raccoon or maybe a mischievous cat. But oh no, it's way weirder than that. She finds her dog not on all fours like usual, but standing upright on 2 feet. And that's not even the jaw-dropping part. The 2-legged dog has figured out how to operate doors. Yeah, you heard that right. It opens the door like it's just another Tuesday afternoon, and when it spots the human, it swiftly shuts the door as if to say, "Nothing to see here, move along." Now the woman is left there screaming at the closed door, her jaw probably somewhere near the floor, and wondering, was that my dog?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
She's convinced it's a skinwalker. I mean, come on, how does a regular dog master doorknob turning and door shutting? It's like your everyday pet crossed into the Twilight Zone. Unless you can prove that your dog does similar, I may have to go with her hypothesis. On that note, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now before I send that creature after you. On a more serious note, it really helps out a ton and gives us the opportunity to keep making these videos for you, so please do so and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you very much. This next footage features a quiet night in the Swiss woodlands and a lone man braving the darkness. Suddenly, eerie screams pierce the tranquil air, resembling the haunting cries of children. The unsettling sounds send shivers down his spine and a wave of fear washes over him. Faced with this chilling scenario, the man, too terrified to investigate further, retreats to the safety of his home. Now here's the question. What would you have done in such a spine-tingling situation? Would you have summoned the courage to venture deeper into the mysterious forest, or would the instinct for self-preservation have guided you back to the comforting glow of your home? Above all, what do you think he stumbled into? Child abduction, or did he encounter spirits or malevolent beings like skinwalkers who were just trying to take advantage? Share your thoughts with me in the comments section. Before you watch the next clip, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment if you haven't already? It goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos for you. Thank you for doing so. Moving back to the day's episode. If you thought that was weird, clearly you haven't seen this next bit of footage. This particular one is from a father and son adventure in Georgia. Their adventure is cut short when they come across a creature that somewhat looks like a small version of the Loch Ness Monster. Despite showing this to various marine experts, no one could give the father and son duo satisfactory answers. They turned to the internet, and even then, there was no consensus, as everyone had different ideas when it comes to the identity of the creature. My team and I are also at a loss, so we throw it out to you guys as well. What do you think we're dealing with here? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Do you believe in superheroes? Well, the next footage might challenge that. In this intriguing footage, a curious individual found himself wandering through a dense forest when his attention was drawn to an extraordinary sight. Amongst the underbrush, a tiny creature emerged. This diminutive being had an odd greenish hue and a head that bore a striking resemblance to a fractured tree, with its spindly arms and legs adding to its curious appearance. If you look closely and imaginatively, you'll realize it appears to be adorned with a small cape. Cool, huh? One might be reminded of Groot, the beloved character from the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. However, what sets this apart is the very real and unaltered nature of the footage. The presence of this peculiar creature raises numerous questions. What is that creature? Why is it there? And is it dangerous? If any of you can help with the answers, we'd love to hear them. After a heavy snowstorm, a man began to hear strange noises coming from the woods. My rule of thumb in such situations is to stay put and not go out, but this man did the opposite.
I got something coming down, man. I got something screaming down there. I don't know what this is, man. Something screaming down there, man. Hello? Where are you? Show yourself right now!
As we can tell from the footage, he went out in search of the origin of the noise. As he got closer, he noticed that the noise did not belong to any animal he knew, which made him panic. Judging from the sound, we can tell it's a huge creature. We don't, however, see the creature to judge. Some think it's a Wendigo, but like I said, we don't see anything. Do you? In Georgia, a pair of famous YouTubers set out into the woods to investigate an old abandoned house. When they got there, the house was empty with not much to film, so they decided to look around. This led them to the lower part of the house. As they were there, they heard footsteps coming from the house above them, which was strange because they were the only ones present.
That's a 1958 Coke bottle, right? What is that?
So they crawled out of there only to be met with silence and emptiness. Who was that third person they heard? Was it the ghost of the former resident of the house, or was it a spirit present? Before you watch the next clip, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment? If you haven't already, it goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos for you. Thank you for doing so. Moving back to the day's episode. Are snakes developing legs now? These slithering creatures are already quite dangerous when they move on the ground, and the thought of them having legs is even more daunting. Well, you might not have to imagine for much longer, as a four-limbed snake was recently sighted in Vientiane. This creature bore an uncanny resemblance to both a lizard and a snake. It's worth noting that there are lizards known as skinks that resemble snakes, but this specimen was different. Unlike skinks, which are relatively small, this snake was quite long and possessed fully developed limbs. While some snakes do have small appendages that they use for mating, this was a full-grown creature with functioning limbs. The question that arises is, how is such a phenomenon possible? We have something rather unprecedented. This first clip was recorded in Colorado as recently as 8th of October by passengers on board a narrow-gauge train that caught sight of something typically not associated with the Colorado area. Take a look. From the train, you can see a humanoid moving through the area. It's big and also most definitely not human. There are not many creatures that fit the bill, which leaves me and all who saw the footage believing that we are dealing with a Bigfoot. I mean, take a second look at it. If this is indeed a Bigfoot, it might be the first for the area, because Colorado is associated with a lot of things, but Bigfoot sightings are not one of them. Although a number of us in the paranormal community believe we may be dealing with a Bigfoot, some who saw it found it funny. One user sarcastically asked if he was able to get back the rented costume in time. Now, if this is a dude in a rented costume, then that's definitely a costume you should be wearing for your next Halloween, because it's very realistic. Some also laughed at it for being shiny, but if you've seen well-kept animal fur in the sun, you would know it gets shiny. Either way, those are just my thoughts. What do you think? Is this really Bigfoot or simply a dude in a costume? Share your thoughts with me in the comment section. Venturing into an abandoned cave can indeed unleash surprises, and it sounds like this couple got more than they bargained for. They were on a hike in the mountains when they heard a noise coming from the cave nearby. Now, most folks call it a day, but not these two. They decide to soldier on. As they went further into the cave, the noise strangely stopped, but they still decided to check it out, and what they saw scared them out of the place. There, emerging from the darkness of the cave, was a creature with glowing eyes. It was very slender and tall and made a strange ticking sound. What could they have seen in the cave? Logically, there could be several explanations. It might be a creature native to the cave, perhaps a type of animal adapted to low-light conditions. Looking at its features, however, I'm pretty sure it's something sinister. AI is everywhere now and involved in everything now that we basically can no longer imagine a future without some sort of AI. But is AI as safe as we think it is? Before you answer, watch this footage. Yes, those are AI robots sitting in a game. While many think this is cute and represents an advancement in the human race, you have to agree that it could be also dangerous. I mean, what if these things turn on us and start attacking? Who would be there to keep us safe? Do you know anything about the Loch Ness Monster? Well, take a look. What does that remind you of? Anyone who knows anything about good old Nessie knows that this creature in the sea is definitely gonna make people think it's the Loch Ness Monster. For those who don't know about it, it's a creature from Scottish folklore and legend. It's said to inhabit Loch Ness, a large and deep lake in the Scottish Highlands. The Loch Ness monster is typically described as a large, long-necked, serpentine or dinosaur-like creature that dwells in the depths of the loch, which is the Scottish term for a lake. The Scots. Am I right? We don't have much to go on since we can't see its full form, yet what we see is enough to make some believe it is truly Nessie. But do you think that's an actual Nessie, or do you think it's something entirely different? Unlike humans, animals are known to be more sensitive and aware of their surroundings, easily detecting signs of impending danger or sensing and detecting any intruders out of sight. This is precisely what happened to a horse rider who ventured into the woods with his horse. As they meandered through the woodlands, the horse suddenly came to an abrupt halt, refusing to move any further. The rider couldn't initially discern the reason for the horse's reluctance. It didn't take long, however, for him to spot movement in the bushes. Upon closer examination, he discovered a strange, otherworldly creature concealed behind a tree. This creature possessed a pallid visage with immense dark eyes, bearing an uncanny resemblance to a skeletal figure. The creature was peering at the rider and his horse, which probably explains why the horse stopped in its tracks. Now the question is, what was that creature? Imagine the delightful world of rabbits, those adorable creatures with their fluffy fur and unmistakably large ears. They're a bundle of cuteness that has found a special place in the hearts of many. However, what do you do when a rabbit is as big as a dog? I present to you the Flemish giants. They are a type of rabbits that are bred for their meat. However, some individuals have chosen to keep these colossal bunnies as pets, and the decision is not without reason. And just like the small ones, these huge bunnies are just as cute. So picture this. I'm chilling at the park, just soaking in the vibes, right? Then out of the blue, I see something weird happening across the street. I grab my phone and start recording, and you won't believe what I caught. That's the story of the man who recorded the footage you're seeing. If you pay attention, you'll see that there's this ghostly figure decked out in a robe, casually strolling down the street like it's the most normal thing in the world. The eerie part, it's like it's taking the most cautious steps ever, making the whole thing even spookier. I'm telling you, the vibe went from chill park day to a full-on ghost hunt. The figure, draped in that mysterious robe, turned the street into something straight out of a supernatural flick. And yeah, those deliberate slow steps tell me you've seen something creepier. Now I'm left here wondering, what's the deal with this ghostly character? Is it on some ancient quest, or did it just take a wrong turn in the afterlife? It's a wild mystery that's got my brain buzzing. In this rather unsettling footage, we find ourselves within the confines of a Romanian zoo. A curious tourist decided to venture into a restricted area and found himself peering into a grim chamber. Inside, a horrifying creature is held captive, resembling a deformed human. The creature's grotesque visage and demeanor are enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. As the tourist present becomes apparent to the creature, it abruptly locks its gaze on him, seemingly yearning to draw nearer. Fortunately, the heavy metal bars serve as a barrier, ensuring that the disturbing creature remains confined within the room. What could be the story behind this nightmarish being, and why is it being kept within the confines of a zoo? Now, we have a lot of weird-looking naked creatures on this channel, but I doubt any compare to this next capture. What do you make of this weird image? Some members of our team believe we could simply be looking at an emaciated man, but quite frankly, I think there's more to this image. While he may look thin like someone starving or ill, he definitely looks much stronger than someone in that state would look. This could only mean one thing. That's his actual physique. One striking thing about this whole thing is his weird-looking nipples, but then again, we're in breast cancer month, and perhaps this is a reminder you needed to get checked to make sure you're healthy and will stay with us for more years to come. Coming back to the image, what do you make of it? What do you think we are dealing with here? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. We'd love to read them. You know that uneasy feeling of someone watching you when you're walking in the dark, but you turn and nothing is there? How would you feel if you turned and saw something? Imagine how petrified you would be. Well, in this footage, this man didn't have to imagine it because he had experienced it, at least in part. He'd gone for a walk one night with his dog to take a breather when he felt eyes upon him. Turning around, he found a pair of glowing eyes staring straight at him past the dog that was just behind him. The creature was concealed in the darkness, but judging by the size of the eyes, it must have been something quite substantial. That leaves us and anyone else who has seen the footage wondering, what exactly could that be? Now we know that by seeing this footage, you're already confused and wondering what that is. Would you believe me if I told you that the uploader of the footage believes it's human? According to the uploader, this is a 30-centimeter human being that was discovered in the city of Ilam, Kurdistan in Iran. Now, the original post was in Arabic, and we tried our best to get translations of it, yet there was not much we could gather other than the fact that we were looking at a 30-centimeter human being. While information and news about occurrences happening inside Iran is scarce, I doubt a discovery like this could be kept under wraps if it was true. But then again, those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Please share in the comments section. When humans retire to bed, we enter a state of unconsciousness, leaving us vulnerable to whatever might transpire around us. There have, however, been instances when security cameras have captured bizarre occurrences that unfold while we sleep, and this evidence is one of many such pieces of evidence that could make you hesitant to fall asleep. In this video recorded in Indonesia, we see a car parked outside. Within a matter of seconds, an unusual greenish smoke materializes seemingly out of thin air. This airy mist then takes on the form of a person as it moves, and just as swiftly as it materializes, it vanishes into the ether. The question arises, was that a ghost or some form of wandering spirit? You tell us. If you saw the title and you were a Harry Potter fan, then you know what to expect. If not, enjoy the surprise. Yep, that's a ginormous spider, more specifically a tarantula. From the way it looks, it's hard to say if it's alive or not, but the individual filming, who seems to not have arachnophobia, pokes it with a stick to check if it's alive. And your guess is as good as mine. It's alive. It sharply contracts its legs. Fortunately for the individual, it doesn't come out or attack. Small spiders can be fast and dangerous. Why would you play with one this size? The docile nature of the creature has led some to believe it's either dying or the whole thing is fake, aimed at garnering some views. Tell us what you think. Before you move on to the next clip, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment in the comments section. It goes a long way to help us produce more videos for you. Thank you very much for doing so, it means a lot. Moving back to the day's episode. Our next footage was taken by some hikers in British Columbia as far back as 2013. Take a look. They were on a mountain when they noticed a dark furred humanoid walking below from a distance. They believed they had seen Bigfoot. Looking at the footage, it has to be. But then again, there's only so much we can see. Skeptics who saw the footage believed it couldn't be declared as a Bigfoot, which comes as no surprise to us. After all, skeptics often attribute such sightings to misidentifications, shadows, or other natural phenomena. In many cases, what people believe to be Bigfoot turns out to be a bear, a person, or some other explainable phenomena. So the question remains, was this a genuine Bigfoot sighting, or could there be a more rational explanation for the figure the hikers saw? On that note, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now before I send that creature after you. On a more serious note, it really helps out a ton and gives us the opportunity to keep making these videos for you, so please do so and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you very much. This person was driving on the road in the middle of the night when he came across this in the sky. You see it, don't you? A strange person floating in the sky. Is it human, though? I mean, it's hard to tell since whatever it is has a robe on. I have my theories on what this might be, but looking at it, what do you see? Tell us in the comment section. This video was shared by the YouTuber Only Manpur Collection Sap. The YouTube team ventured into the forest to explore when they unexpectedly encountered an unusual woman standing behind some bushes. Not only was this woman standing there, but she was also eerily moving her head sideways to a silent tune. Her face appeared exceptionally pale, almost white. One of the more daring crew members approached the mysterious woman, raising his arms to convey that he meant no harm. However, the woman remained unperturbed and continued to hold her stance. As the man drew closer, she gradually crouched down into the bushes and disappeared. Undeterred, the crew persisted in their search of the woods and encountered another woman resembling the first. Once again, as they approached her, she too vanished. The identity of these women remains a mystery. Are they forest spirits, or could this be completely staged? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Amidst the solemn grounds of a cemetery, a woman stumbles upon something that defies explanation. I know, you were expecting me to say enigma, but I have repented. Whatever it is, it appears to have suffered a deformation process that contorted it into a truly unsettling spectacle. With its vital organs conspicuously absent and a somber, darkened visage, its crossed arms add a touch of eerie surrealism. But the mystery doesn't end there, as the discovery also brings with it an unsettling stench that pervades the lady's home. What, one may ask, could possibly result in such an otherworldly and disconcerting apparition? Well, we really don't know. What's your take on it? Still on Bigfoot, we travel all the way to snowy Russia for our next footage. Take a look. Now, you may not understand what's happening, but the recorder of the footage decided to embark on a journey into the snowy night to prove to everyone that the Bigfoot that they had apparently been seeing was nothing more than a hoax. Once out there, however, he started to notice these strange prints in the snow. Although skeptical, he started to record just in case there was a Bigfoot, and that's exactly what he found. Some 2 kilometers from him, he saw a creature moving. Zooming in, he recorded what you see on your screen, but of course it's blurry due to how zoomed in the footage is. He truly believes he encountered a Bigfoot. Some have called the whole thing a hoax, stating that they couldn't understand how the first footage was as clear as day and the last one was as blurry as the dark night. Quite frankly, I know zooming in could do that to footage, but perhaps that's a convenient way to explain a hoax. What do you think? Did this Russian really encounter a Bigfoot, or is he playing mind games? Now that's a wild wake-up call. Imagine unzipping your tent all ready to face the day, and boom! There's a deer right there giving you the morning stare down. This camper had the experience and didn't have to imagine it. Lucky guy. It's almost like Mr. Deer there is his campsite guardian waiting for him to join the great outdoors. What do you think of it? Spooky or cute? In the next clip, we step into the world of archaeology, where something mysterious and absolutely astonishing has popped up. It's left even the smartest archaeologists scratching their heads. Here we've got the skeletal remains of a super puzzling creature, and it's throwing scientists for a loop. Now, the first thing that really stands out is this creature's back legs. They're all out of proportion, way longer than you'd expect. The whole body is about 1 meter long. Instead of regular hooves, it's got nails, which adds to its overall mystery. Plus, it's got some pretty gnarly teeth that makes scientists wonder about its role in the ecosystem. People have all sorts of ideas about what this might be, but none of them seem to totally fit the bill. Is it a brand new species we've never seen before? Some ancient weirdo? Or maybe a genetic quirk of a creature we know? While the archaeologists try to crack this puzzle, we're all ears for your thoughts and theories. Feel free to share them in the comments section below. We'll be reading. Next, we have a capture that was taken during a quiet night of camping, which turned, well, not so quiet. The sound started right around the time the group of campers was about to settle into their tents for the night. The curious and somewhat brave campers decided to investigate the source of this unsettling sound, which is what led to the image you see on your screen. There, beneath the cover of a tree, stands a creature with an unusual form that defies easy categorization, as it looks neither like a human nor any known animal. The campers stayed hidden in a spot as they filmed the strange creature, as they didn't know what it was doing in the woods or what it was capable of doing to them. While I would not have gone out at all, I must commend them for their bravery. Whatever you do, though, don't ever go out looking for the source of strange noises when it's dark. That's how all the side characters in a horror movie die. The thing is, you'll never know if you are the main character or not. Side characters don't survive. Stay safe out there. Picture this. You're settling into your car, keys in hand, ready to kick off your day. Suddenly, your attention is drawn to a peculiar sight squirming its way out of an air conditioning vent. Now stop imagining. Take a look. A quick-witted car owner caught this bizarre moment on camera. A creature with claws and a curious pinkish appendage emerging through the vents. Say hello to the star-nosed mole, aka the mysterious and freakish-looking visitor. Its distinctive features can offset even the most ironclad of stomachs. If its visit to the man's car serves any purpose, it's a reminder that even in the mundane spaces of our daily lives, nature can surprise us with its unique and unexpected inhabitants. Who knew your car's AC system could become an entrance for the denizens of the underground world? A Trailcam owner in Washington uploaded his footage when he saw what he had captured. In this footage, we can see a dense forest in the midst of the night, but a few moments later, something walks by among the trees. It was a huge being taking strong strides on its 2 legs. The creature is covered in dark fur, so it blends perfectly with the night. However, you can make out its outline, which resembles a Bigfoot. Is it really one, or is something else entirely? We'll update you as soon as we can confirm. Clowns, you know, those once cheerful symbols of fun and the sun, have taken a pretty dark turn in recent times. Thanks to the association with serial killers and movies like It, they've gone from being funny to downright nightmarish. So picture this. A drone rider cruising their drone over a cornfield when they spot someone standing right in the middle of the corn plants. Curiosity piqued, they fly the drone closer only to find out it's a person in a clown mask. Now, here's the kicker. As soon as the clown realizes he's been spotted by the drone, he makes a run for it. Maybe it's just someone having some spooky fun in a costume, but the mere idea of a clown on the run in a cornfield is enough to send shivers down your spine, don't you think? Before you dismiss it as being scary, think of all those people who have a fear of clowns. Now, is it scary or is it not? How would you react if you saw a Bigfoot? Freak out? Run? Well, whatever you wrote, I doubt it will compare to this next footage. If you said run, you clearly haven't watched this footage. This individual casually saw Bigfoot walking around, and instead of hiding like many do when they record Bigfoot footage, she boldly stood in the open and recorded this Bigfoot, who also didn't seem to care that he was being filmed. The lady's dog is also calm, surprisingly. Typically, dogs will bark and get aggressive at the sight of Bigfoot, but this is relatively calm. This has many in the paranormal community talking. They believe it might be fake. It's either that or the woman is very composed and her dog is disciplined and well-trained. Which of these do you think is most probable? Please let us know in the comment section. Now, this is one for the books. In the mystical realm of the internet, back in 2017, a Facebook user named Kelly embarked on a stroll through the woods, casually filming herself. Little did she know, her video would unveil something extraordinary: two tiny, dark figures making their way through the same woods. The online world exploded with speculation as netizens let their imaginations run wild. Some threw out the possibility of these creatures being little people, while others concocted a myriad of theories to explain the mysterious figures. Looking at it, I don't believe they're little people, but then again, it's the kind of stuff that fuels late-night conversations and stirs the pot of paranormal enthusiasts. So I throw it to you. What do you think this is? During a heavy flood in Peru, a reporter was climbing stairs while filming when his camera captured something intriguing. It appears that the reporter may not have even noticed that she'd caught something on camera as she continued talking while the camera briefly focused on the mysterious figure. The creature in question appears humanoid with dark skin, crawling on the stairs and following the woman. According to the residents of the area, they believe this creature resides in the waters and has been washed up on land during the flood. While many are excited about the prospects of this being nothing but a paranormal being, some were quick to point out that it might simply be a man who was on the verge of succumbing to hypothermia. Take a close look at the footage. Which do you think it is? In this recently captured footage, we witness a man rhythmically beating an empty bucket with a stick and tapping the murky water, which at first glance seems like an unusual activity. However, the reason behind this peculiar behavior becomes clear in the next few seconds. A crocodile soon emerges after the disturbance. The beast has been lured out of the water by the noise created by the man. Upon noticing the creature's emergence, the man quickly positions the bucket in front of him as the crocodile attempts to lunge for his leg. You might be wondering why the man is provoking the creature. In reality, he has summoned the crocodile not to provoke it, but to feed it. Nonetheless, this job is undeniably dangerous, with the slightest mistake potentially resulting in becoming crocodile food. In this episode, we bring back our bonus footage section. Can you guess what this beautiful creature is? It looks beautiful, doesn't it? What creature is it though? Can you tell its species? Do you know any interesting facts about it? If you do, please head down to the comments section and tell us. Start with bonus footage so we easily identify it. The most accurate description with the rarest fact might win a feature in our next video. All the best. What creatures do you think we are looking at here? This footage surfaced back in 2018 from a farm in Indiana, and it shows what I can only describe as a hideous-looking creature. The body of the creature looks like that of a goat, but its long neck and strange face say otherwise. When this footage surfaced on the internet, people were quick to give their opinions about it, and given its appearance, most comments were pretty harsh. Some said the creature was the ugliest animal in the world. Others said it looked like the devil himself, while others called it the monster goat. But after a little research, we found out that this is not a monster goat or the devil himself. It's called a Damascus goat. They're a rare breed of goat with rather distinct features. This one, however, looks this way according to some because of selective breeding. Can the experts confirm or debunk this? If you didn't think Bigfoot or the Sasquatch was real, perhaps this next footage might change your mind. Enjoy. Once the footage starts, we're introduced to a crime scene. In a second or two, we see something dark, furry, and tall move in the background. Enter our Bigfoot. At this point, any skeptic might think that it's nothing more than a man in a costume. If you're one of those, you're forgiven. The creature moving in the background then easily picks up a tree and then hits the ground or another tree with it. Not particularly sure what it's doing, but you have to admit that it takes some strength and power to pull that off, and no man can do that. If you're a skeptic, what do you have to say for yourself after seeing this clip? Accidents are unfortunate situations that can sometimes defy explanation. However, when we examine the footage here, we can't help but wonder if there might be something more sinister at play. In this video, we witness a motor accident, as is evident. The motor lies on the ground and the footage was captured by the helmet camera that continued to record even after it fell off the rider's head. What's truly unsettling is what the camera captured. Just behind the fallen motor, concealed among the bushes, a dark figure emerges. This figure appears from behind a tree and with an eerie, sinister countenance gazing directly at the camera. The figure's eerie appearance might lead one to ponder whether it's an embodiment of an evil entity, possibly even evoking thoughts of the Grim Reaper or an ominous spirit that played a role in causing the accident. A homeowner was peacefully asleep one night when he was jolted awake by peculiar noises coming from the roof. At first, he tried to dismiss the sounds, but they became too unsettling to ignore. Grabbing his phone and a flashlight, he gathered the courage to investigate. What he stumbled upon was nothing short of spine-tingling. Perched on the roof, there was a pallid head propped up, adorned with two dark, eerie eyes that fixated on the homeowner. The intruder bore no resemblance to a human, leaving everyone bewildered and pondering whether this was a paranormal creature, and if it was, what its purpose was on the roof. While we are trying to figure out the strange creatures and phenomena that plague our world, there are also those who choose to do strange things that leave us all shocked and questioning them. This footage was taken on a train. In the footage, we see a person in a costume and heavy makeup eating spaghetti on the floor. I mean, this is a train, and I don't even want to get started on how unsanitary that is. But what is wrong with this person? Could it be that he needs help psychologically, or is he just doing this for attention? Any New Yorker with an answer? You wake up one serene morning, the world outside blanketed in fresh snow after a night of gentle flurries. As you groggily approach the window to take in the wintry scene, you're met with an unexpected sight. A majestic moose, tall and proud, right outside your window. Its breath forms little clouds in the chilly air as it curiously peers into your room, almost as if it's offering a friendly good morning. The moose, with its massive antlers and a coat of snowflakes, seems to embody the peaceful charm of the winter landscape. I'm pretty sure the title confused you, but trust me, once you see it, you'll understand. Take a look. That's a strange-looking deer, is it not? I doubt if I've seen any deer look like that. If you know anything about deer, however, which I know you do based on past experience, then you're well aware of the fact that they shed their antlers. But I doubt you've seen any like this. Those antlers looked like pigtails. Anyone who was born earlier than the 2000s knows those hairstyles used to be a hit. It's a pity we don't see them anymore, but I'm glad this deer brought the style back to memory. So while some of you may be worried about the deer, I believe it's perfectly fine. Otherwise, the wildlife experts can feel free to chip in. Back in August, this video was captured by a security camera and later shared on TikTok. In the video, a man stepped out of his house with his 2 dogs, presumably for a playful outing. Just as the fun was about to commence, the man's attention was drawn to something approaching, and it frightened him. He hurriedly retreated into the house, and that's when a massive moose came into view. Concerned for his dog's safety, the man called them to his side, fearing that the colossal beast might pose a threat to them. The moose, however, had different plans and simply strolled into the woods. While moose are herbivores and don't consume meat, they're known for their significant size and can be quite aggressive if they feel threatened. Their antlers make them dangerous in such situations. Although this particular one appeared to have lost its antlers, it didn't make it less dangerous. The man can count himself lucky to have survived. Do skinwalkers commonly take the forms of dogs? What would you do if you entered your compound and found a dog in your home, especially when no one owns one? You'd freak out, right? That's exactly what happened to the individual in this capture you're seeing. Now, this isn't why we are starting today's episode with this very one. Our reason involves a skinwalker. Would you believe me if I told you that skinwalkers are rumored to take the forms of dogs? In the place where this image was taken, skinwalkers are common according to the natives, and they like to take the form of dogs since everyone owns one or at least feeds a stray. Taking this form is safer for them as no one would suspect a thing. There are times, however, when they want you to know they're skinwalkers, probably to threaten you. The uploader of the footage believes this is one such time, which is why she never entered the apartment until help came. Once help came, they entered the apartment and found nothing. At least that's how the story goes. What do you think? Now, what are we looking at here? A creature with the head of a fish, the upper torso of a human, and a fishtail. Just when we thought we'd seen it all, this hybrid creature emerges, resembling something concocted in a lab. The creature appears lifeless, its hand seemingly affixed to its back. Unfortunately, there isn't much information available on this creature, so we cannot definitely say if it's real or a fabrication. However, one thing is for sure, the prospect of sharing the same planet with a creature like this is something most would find unsettling. Next, we have one of the oldest yet convincing evidence of a chupacabra. Take a look. In the footage, we see a creature that looks somewhere like a dog, but without the fur, typically associated with our canine friends. Its body proportions are also not exactly right. Chupas have long been described as such, and this creature fits the bill. The only thing left is to see if it sucks blood out of other animals. But do tell me, what do you think? Talking about being safe, I doubt anyone could be safe anywhere close to where the next Trailcam image I'm about to show you was captured. What do you think this creature is? If you said dogman or wolfman, we wouldn't have an issue with it because it literally looks like one. Wolves and wild dogs can be very dangerous because of their feral nature. To have a creature that has all those features and is yet much stronger and humanoid is a different ballgame altogether. The owner of the Trailcam that captured this states that he's been shaken and worried for his family ever since their Trailcam captured this image, and I can't blame him. I would have, however, moved from the area because hunting down this creature could prove fatal, and it's safe to assume that it knows where the humans live. If it decides to change its diet to something a bit more human, the family would certainly be in trouble since humans are in short supply where the image was captured. I gave my word not to reveal the location, but what would you have done in their situation? Share your thoughts with us. This picture was taken by a backpacker, and let me provide you with a little backstory on what you are seeing here. A girl and her friend had gone backpacking on a trail in the mountains. As night fell, they grew tired and decided to camp on the side of the trail. After setting up their tents, they went to sleep. However, in the early morning around 5 a.m., the girls were abruptly awakened by footsteps signaling the presence of an intruder. One of the girls felt the footsteps stop right in front of their tent, prompting her to unzip and confront the intruder. To their surprise, it was a man who appeared disorientated. When asked about his intentions, he mumbled that he was looking for his friends. The girl sternly told him off and retreated into her tent, hoping the strange man would leave. When the girls woke up the next morning, they saw the man sleeping on the ground beside their tent, having spent the night in the open. The girl then captured a picture of him. The man woke up, took his backpack, and left. Weird, don't you think? Could it have been a homeless man? Is someone trying to hurt them, or a spirit of the forest? In our ever-evolving world, new and undiscovered creatures continue to emerge, awaiting exploration and recognition. Such is the case of this next footage. An Australian man was jogging in the morning when he came across a strange creature on the ground. The creature had a huge head and a long tail with small black eyes. Its skin was semi-transparent. It looked undeveloped and looked like an undeveloped sea creature washed onto the land. However, when scientists came across the footage, they were unable to identify the creature. I almost thought it was a squid, but I was sharply reprimanded. So I turned to you guys. What do you think we're dealing with here? Amidst the solitude of the deck, a mysterious sight unfolds. We're looking at a creature with just 3 legs and a gray body covered in strange black dots that create a unique and puzzling pattern, unlike anything we've seen in nature. Despite having only a few limbs, this creature doesn't give up easily. It keeps pushing forward, leaving the fisherman filming it completely amazed and wondering what on earth he was witnessing. All who saw it were left with questions. Is the creature from some undiscovered world? Could it be an alien visitor from beneath the waves? Or maybe it's the last of a species that's unlike anything we've ever known. Perhaps something from the deep sea made its way up higher than it was supposed to be. We don't know, but perhaps the marine experts here could help. We'll be reading the comments. Would you explore tunnels? Well, the individuals responsible for our next clip thought it would be a good idea. Watch what they found. As they delved deeper into the maze-like passages of the cave, their headlamps revealed a creature that was unlike anything they'd ever seen. This cryptid figure had a strikingly human-like quality, walking on 2 sturdy legs, much like a human, and it even had arm-like appendages. But it was enormous and had a noticeable hunch in its posture, giving it an otherworldly appearance. Its body had rough, textured features that hinted at a thick covering of hair or fur. At least that's what we think looking at the footage. What do you think we could be dealing with here? Please share your thoughts in the comment section. Our next footage is one of the reasons why people believe that we are indeed in a matrix. A lighter was put on a table by a wall. The fire was lit, but when you looked at the wall, there was something strange going on. The shadow of the lighter was showing on the wall, but the fire was not. There could be a few explanations for such an occurrence. One possibility is that the lighting conditions and the camera angle created a situation where the shadow was more prominent than the flame itself. Shadows can sometimes be more defined depending on the light source and the angle. What are your thoughts? Have you seen a ladder take a walk? Well, if you haven't, today's your lucky day. Take a look. Yup, that's a ladder walking away. At some point, my assistant thought it was just the wind, but the wind won't move it in the way it did unless there was some invisible person working it out. We slowed the footage to try and see if there was any strings attached to any of the legs, but we couldn't find any convincing patterns that would establish it. We were left to accept that the ladder is indeed walking. How is it doing that? We wish we knew. Perhaps some things are best left a mystery.
No, there it goes. Finally, I knew I shouldn't go in. Everything was telling me not to go in, that I needed to be recording.
In Winston-Salem, a woman came out one evening for some fresh air when she noticed something strange going on with the clouds. Lights were blinking on and off behind the clouds. She said initially the clouds with the lights blinking were above her head. The lights, which were initially blue, changed color as they moved further ahead of her. The color changed to orange. As weird as this is, it was not the weirdest part. There was a long, lingering, heavy feeling that they just couldn't get rid of. This mysterious event leaves both the observer and curious onlookers grappling with various questions. What could be the source of these peculiar lights behind the clouds? Is it a natural phenomenon, an atmospheric anomaly, or perhaps something more enigmatic? These are questions we may never truly have official answers to, but in the meantime, feel free to share your thoughts. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? Thank you very much. There have been reports flooding in from all corners of Oklahoma about sightings of strange and mysterious luminous objects illuminating the night sky. The ambiguity surrounding these sightings fuels a range of theories. Some individuals posit that these luminous objects could be experimental aircraft or drones, possibly of military origin. Others entertain the notion of otherworldly visitors or advanced technological entities exploring the skies. Local communities and the broader public are left to ponder the significance of these sightings. Whether these phenomena are rooted in classified military activities, natural atmospheric occurrences, or something beyond our current understanding. I know you want my views on it, but my team and I are doing some digging around for evidence. We'll have a full video explaining these things coming up soon, and you wouldn't want to miss that, trust me. What would you do if you discovered a monster hiding in your roof? Sounds like a hypothetical question, right? Well, for the one who uploaded our first footage, it was not. Yes, that's the hand of a monster of sorts showing above the door. How it got there, no one knows, but clearly everyone present is scared and worried. The uploader suspects it's a potential Bigfoot, and looking at those furry hands, I don't blame her for thinking so. There are others, however, who think that it's nothing more than a monkey which found its way into their house while they were away. While the monkey explanation sounds more plausible and likely, it's not any less frightening than the Bigfoot. The uploader shared this video while it was happening live. We don't know what they discovered when they broke into the house. Which do you think it is? Bigfoot, monkey, or even a hoax? Share your thoughts in the comment section. In the next footage, we see a group of men sitting in a hospital hallway, probably to visit a loved one. They all seemed occupied with their phones when all of a sudden, a scrubbed-in doctor came running from the other side of the hallway. No one paid attention to him, but a few moments later, a wheelchair wheeled itself into the place from the direction the doctor came from. Yes, it wheeled itself. There was nobody in the chair, and neither was there someone pushing it. The man, seeing this, scrambled out of the place. How did the chair move? What was controlling it? How did this story end? Those are questions we may never receive answers to. In this next footage, a group of men are seen holding a man down. The man appears to be struggling with them. It almost looks like he's floating in mid-air, but the men are holding him down. Immediate thoughts are towards the supernatural. Could this man be possessed or subject to some mysterious force? As our investigation lens delves deeper into the subject, a fascinating revelation emerges. It turns out that the initial perplexing scene is a result of clever video manipulation. The footage has been artfully reversed. The mysterious aura surrounding the situation dissipates as we uncover the meticulous editing that has taken place. I must say, they almost got me there. Whilst out with his kids, a man came across this, clouds on the ground. Now, I don't know how this is possible, but that's what we see. Strange, if you ask me. Naturally, when this popped up online, people were shocked, and that led to some rather interesting theories concerning the footage. Some thought it was part of a government spy aircraft cloud camouflage. Sounds crazy at first, but when you think about it, it's quite possible, wouldn't you agree? Some also proposed an alternative perspective, suggesting that it could be a byproduct of a toxic substance in the sky. This theory raises concerns about environmental and health implications if that's true, but there's no way of determining that now, is there? After all, some who saw it are dismissing the footage as a hoax, attributing the cloud-like formation to ordinary cotton. Yet upon closer scrutiny, the transparency of the anomaly challenges the notion that it could be a mere cotton formation. Could it be pure CGI, or is there something else at play here? I think I'll leave that up to you to decide. Now here's a slice of weirdness caught on camera. Picture this, a security camera innocently doing its job when out of the blue, a naked man steps into the frame. No, it's not a lost scene from a surreal art film, it's real-life CCTV footage. This dude, as captured by the lens, is standing there, skinny as a rail, and for some reason he's adorned in just his underwear. But here's the kicker. Instead of going about his business or, trying to find some clothes, he's making this bizarre gesture. The internet, already ready for a bit of speculation, went into overdrive. Some folks are leaning toward the possibility that he might be homeless, trying to navigate life's challenges. Others are throwing around the idea that maybe, just maybe, he's caught in the clutches of substance abuse. Looking at it, I'm tempted to believe the latter. What about you? Here's a spooky tale for you. Two friends having a chill night on the beach when things take a mysterious turn. So there they are, just soaking in the tranquility of the night, maybe unwinding from the day's stress, when something caught their attention. It was enough to make them both snap around and, without a second thought, bolt away in sheer terror. What caused this panic? A strange, pale creature emerged from the darkness, quietly making its way toward them. This humanoid figure had long, eerily crooked legs and arms that dangled oddly. Picture something straight out of a horror movie right there on the beach with them. No hesitation, those poor guys hit the panic button and zoomed out of there as their lives depended on it. Watching this clip, I can't blame them. Can you? In this riveting footage, a group on a boat expedition through the forest stumble upon a celestial enigma. However, hovering in the skies was a dark ethereal mass reminiscent of smoke surrounded by a flurry of birds. The air was thick with intrigue, and the observers must have felt a shiver of awe and wonder. Could this mysterious floating entity be a natural phenomenon, a play of light and shadow, or does it harbor a more supernatural essence? Some might speculate on atmospheric conditions, while others might entertain the possibility of an otherworldly presence. What are your thoughts on this puzzling encounter? Smoke signals from the cosmos, or nature's dance of light and shade? We've got this clip that shows two moons in the sky. Initially, it looked like just a moon and a star, but as the person zoomed in, you noticed that the other smaller one was a crescent moon, but not as bright as the bigger one. This celestial mystery prompts a cascade of speculations and discussions amongst viewers, each grappling with the enigmatic nature of the phenomenon. The possibilities are as diverse as the interpretations, from atmospheric anomalies to potential celestial alignments. As we contemplate the celestial tapestry above, it becomes evident that the universe is an endless source of fascination and intrigue, always ready to challenge our understanding of the cosmos. Imagine checking your trail camera expecting the usual wildlife snapshots only to be met with a mysterious creature that defies explanation. This photo reveals a towering figure standing at least 7 feet tall, draped in dark fur and unmistakably humanoid. The creature's face, a curious blend of ape-like features with a human nose, raises eyebrows and stirs the imagination. Is it possible this is a genuine encounter with the elusive Sasquatch, or is there room for skepticism, with some suggesting a potential hoax involving a person in an elaborate costume? Personally, I'm tempted to believe it could be a hoax unless there's some explanation for how the creature's fur looks like it just walked out of the dry cleaners when it actually lives in a place that leaves fur dirty and matted. Perhaps this is just me being difficult, but what do you think? Still on things that look like dogs but are not, take a look at this next footage. What do you see? All who saw it initially believed we were dealing with an abnormally large dog, but it turns out it's nothing more than a pig. Has anyone seen a pig like this before? Can you tell or guess its exact species? If you can, please leave it in the comments section for us. We've got something special for the best response.
What the fuck is that?
In Melbourne, Australia, a contractor spotted this in the sky. It was a luminous orb in the sky. Seeing such a thing naturally made him curious, but it was not until he had captured the image and zoomed in that things took an unexpected turn. The revelation of what appeared to be a doorway on the luminous orb. As with any unexplained phenomena, speculations run wild. Some propose the idea of a blue beam projection, a technology that projects holographic images into the sky, while others delve into the possibility of a portal existing within the luminous orb. The concept of a portal suggests an opening to another dimension or realm, leaving the imagination to wonder what the potential destinations could be. Skeptics, on the other hand, consider the likelihood of the entire spectacle being carefully orchestrated hoax, a product of advanced technology or visual manipulation. What do you think?
That's crazy, man. What the fuck?
Next, we have footage from a trail camera that captured this strange creature, and people can't seem to figure out what the creature is. The creature in question has a pair of glassy, glowing eyes and a pig-like nose. Its skin is pale, and it has shoulders that look humanoid. The rest of its body is not captured by the camera lens, leaving it up to our imagination. Though we cannot make out the creature, people have come out with ideas, and the most recurring answer, Mothman. For those unfamiliar with him, the Mothman is a cryptid that gained notoriety in West Virginia during the 1960s. He's often described as a humanoid figure with large wings. While the image captured by the trail camera doesn't reveal the creature's wings or the lowest part of its body, the peculiar characteristics mentioned have sparked associations with Mothman. Personally, I really want the capture to be the Mothman, but then again, anything is possible these days, so I'd want your take on this as well. What do you think we're dealing with here? Talk about a head-scratcher. So this dude walks into his place, right? Normal day until he spots his ring just hanging out in mid-air. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that's some weird magic show happening right there. But you have to wonder, is it a glitch in the Matrix, some supernatural shenanigans, or did the laws of physics just decide to take a coffee break? I mean, coming home and finding your ring playing the levitation game is definitely not your everyday sight. What's your take on it though? Matrix glitch, a new age Houdini trick, or maybe just a gravity-defying jewelry piece? Share your thoughts with us. Entering a cave and stumbling upon a pride of lions is not an everyday occurrence. It sounds like a scene straight out of a wildlife documentary. The image of these majestic creatures huddled up in a small cave opening is quite surreal. It certainly is a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence, and the one filming is very fortunate that the lions didn't see him as a threat. Even if they did, they chose to simply threaten him without attacking. Perhaps they were taking a nap after a substantial meal, or maybe they were simply not in the mood. Perhaps they also didn't want to move out of their comfort zone, as it looked like the cave offered a cool and sheltered spot for a rest. The discovery of these mysterious tunnels around the world has sparked both curiosity and speculation. These enigmatic passageways, concealed in various forms, ranging from sewer-like openings to holes in city streets, have captured the attention of explorers and conspiracy theorists alike. Some explorers have stumbled upon fully furnished structures with electricity. The condition of these spaces varies, with some appearing untouched while others bear signs of abandonment. While some believe that these discoveries might be genuine underground utilities or storage spaces, others are very convinced that they belong to an interconnected subterranean world. That sounds exciting, but what are your thoughts on these underground mysteries? Do you think there's a vast network connecting them, or is it more likely a mix of utility tunnels and urban legends? This next footage was also taken by an unknown woman at an undisclosed location.
I'm not quite sure what this is about, but this cloud keeps flickering red.
In it, we see a specific section of the clouds illuminated in a vibrant red hue, prompting varied interpretations from viewers. Several netizens have put forth different explanations for the phenomenon. Some propose that the red glow could be a result of lights from buildings below reflecting on the clouds. On the other hand, a section of those who saw it propose another theory, suggesting that this occurrence might be linked to the oil industry. Specifically, some propose that it could be the result of flaring, the controlled burning of unwanted gas in oil fields, a practice that can cause clouds to glow. Conspiracy theories also make an appearance here, with claims ranging from chemical interventions to extraterrestrial involvement. To an extent, those sound far-fetched even for me, but what do you think? We have a couple watching their newborn child on a baby monitor when they notice something strange. There on the side of the baby cot is a pair of glowing eyes looking at the baby. It stands there for a while and then goes away. We don't have much info on the footage, so we can console ourselves with the idea that that could be a dog. There is an eerie feeling, though, that makes me think it was not a dog, but some sort of evil entity that was after the child. What do you think? While out in the mountains in Turkey, a group of men came across a creature on a hill staring down at them. From the footage, we can tell that the creature had a pair of horns and eyes glowing in the dark. Its head resembled that of a goat, while its body looked almost like a human crouching down. Could this be the legendary Goat Man? Share your thoughts with me in the comment section. Buckle up for a celestial mystery straight from a road trip. Imagine catching a stunning sunset on camera only to realize you've got not one, but two suns stealing the limelight. Double trouble or double wonder? You decide. That's what happened to the one who captured this, but as you can see, one was orange and the other was a white orb with an orange hue around it. Beyond these basic descriptions, there are some who noticed a few things that could explain this. One observation was that it was a reflection. You can see because of the power lines that go through it. Seeing this, some proposed that the whole thing could be attributed to a hypothetical planet X, suggesting the celestial body getting closer. What do you also think? During a routine plane journey, a vigilant passenger observed a perplexing phenomenon through the aircraft's windows. A luminous, unidentified flying object caught his attention as it gracefully navigated beneath the plane's wing. According to him, this went on for at least 10 minutes until, in an unexpected turn, the UFO initiated a deceleration and gradually descended until it eventually disappeared into the vast expanse of the sky. What are your thoughts on this mysterious encounter? Do you lean toward a more conventional explanation or find yourself intrigued by the possibility of otherworldly phenomena sharing the airspace with commercial flights? Tell us in the comments section. If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more videos like this for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. Here's a fascinating discovery shared by a Reddit user. Two adventurous souls deep into exploring a collapsed cave stumbled upon a mysterious pile of rocks. With curiosity as their guide, they decided to unveil the secrets hidden beneath. As the rocks shifted, an unexpected sight met their eyes, a strange face peering back at them from the darkness, only to retreat into the shadows. The men, now with their lights illuminating the unknown, captured the entire encounter on film. The intriguing part? In the heart of the moment, one of them could be heard shouting jinn, an Arabic term often associated with demons or evil spirits. But let's think about something here. If that's a jinn, a demonic spirit with power and all the kinds of things we've heard, how is it trapped in the ground? Now let me introduce you to a creature that seems straight out of a fairy tale, the screaming, hairy armadillo. Yeah, you heard it right, and no, it's not a creature of fiction, but a real living being. These peculiar beings are known for their vocalizations that can only be described as screaming. Imagine a hairy armadillo whose defense mechanism is being too annoying to eat. It screams till whatever is trying to eat it just loses interest or is startled. That's the creature on your screen. This man was cruising alone, filming himself, when suddenly a massive creature appeared in the water. And I'm not talking about your average fish here. We are talking big, like really big. Encountering a large creature in the water during a boat ride can be both thrilling and unnerving. When you are, however, not sure of what you're dealing with, it can be alarming, and that was the case of the man in question. He couldn't help but wonder if he had encountered an anaconda or another colossal aquatic being. For those unfamiliar with them, anacondas are large, non-venomous snakes that are known for their impressive size and strength. They're often found in aquatic habitats, which makes it possible that he had actually encountered one. In such a scenario, it's important to exercise caution and ensure safety. No unnecessary actions that will endanger you. While anacondas are generally not aggressive towards humans, it's essential to avoid provoking or approaching them closely. An anaconda sounds exciting, but is it really one though? What are your thoughts? A man while at the beach at an unknown location was live on social media when this happened. He saw this massive creature in the sea. Estimated to be between 20 to 25 feet in length, the creature was seen swimming toward the beach. The waves somehow appeared to act as a barrier, preventing it from getting too close to the shore. The situation drew the attention of the police, who arrived at the scene along with a gathering of curious onlookers. The sheer size of the creature has left many intrigued. Some propose that it could be a species of shark or whale, while others think it might just be another species that's less commonly seen near the shore. However, without additional details about the location and the more detailed analysis of the footage, it remains challenging to definitely identify the sea creature. There's bound to be someone here who knows what this is. If that's you, please do educate us in the comments section. We'll be reading. The Matrix is a movie that not only captivated audiences with its mind-bending narrative, but also left us questioning the very fabric of reality. And now, here we are in the real world, pondering whether we might be living in a coded existence. So check this out. A man at a train station doing a perplexing dance of falling and getting up, falling and getting up. Now that alone might raise an eyebrow, but what takes it to the next level is that this guy is not just tripping randomly. No, sir. He's falling at the same spot in the same way with the same reaction every single time. Now, before you start thinking he's just practicing some avant-garde dance routine, the theorists are throwing around a different idea. They're suggesting that this man's seemingly repetitive actions are no ordinary clumsiness. Instead, they're labeling it as a glitch in the Matrix. It's like reality is stuck on a loop, and he's unwittingly become the star of this glitchy show. What do you think, though? A true glitch in the Matrix, or simply a man who may be on drugs? Have you ever seen a sewer cover dance? If you answered no, then boy, are you in luck. Enjoy. This footage was captured by a man who noticed a sewer cover dancing. It's not a waltz or anything remotely close, but how else do you describe this? There was no one around, no indication of a rope attached to it, which makes the whole thing strange. The man decided to film it, but I'm starting to believe that there are some invisible and invincible entities messing with us humans for entertainment. What do you think? Encounters with wildlife, especially bears, can be unpredictable and potentially dangerous, and this footage highlights it better than most. Our hiker here was attacked by a bear cub. Fortunately for him, he knew what to do and screamed. He also had a stick, which he attempted to use in scaring the bear away, but this creature did not budge. The little guy rather pounced at the hiker and caught the stick between its jaws. It took the hiker a while to get the cub to leave him alone, but he eventually did. It's essential for individuals exploring areas inhabited by wildlife to be aware of the potential risks so they can take appropriate precautions. Maintaining a safe distance and avoiding confrontation is crucial when dealing with wild animals, especially mothers with cubs, as they can be protective and territorial. Let's just say this man is lucky Mama Bear was not around, because if she was, this may have been another kind of video, if you know what I mean. Our next mysterious footage was captured in Scotland, where the forest ground appears to be undulating, almost as if it were breathing. This has left viewers both fascinated and perplexed. The video was recorded after Storm Babette, which brought strong winds to the area and introduces a possible link between the weather conditions and a peculiar phenomenon observed in the forest. Look at how the dog was effortlessly lifted when it stood on the moving earth. This is so strange. Some speculate that the storm's impact on the soil and trees contributed to this unusual movement, creating a visual illusion reminiscent of breathing. Some even took a more fantastical approach, saying that the forest is a sleeping giant. Reminds me of the sleeping giant seen from Puss in Boots. In folklore and mythology, various cultures have ascribed spiritual or sentient qualities to nature. The concept of a sleeping giant, in this case, suggests that the forest possesses a dormant or slumbering essence, awakening in a manner reminiscent of breathing. But having seen it with your own eyes, what do you think this could be? Humans are one of the most cunning and dangerous creatures in the world, and this could very well be our downfall.
There's some kind of object that's suspended in the air. It's hard to tell, it's pretty small.
Recently, military whistleblower Danny Sheehan came forward with some startling information. The US military is allegedly deploying soldiers to seek out alien technology and bring it back for their own use. It's no wonder they have been evasive when asked about alien control in UFOs. They want to harness alien tech to gain military dominance around the world. But if you ask me, this seems like a recipe for disaster. On one hand, the potential benefits of such technology could be enormous, leading to advancements in medicine, energy, and more. However, the risks are equally significant. By attempting to take alien technology, we may be provoking entities that are far more advanced than us. It's like a modern-day Pandora's box. Once opened, the consequences could be catastrophic. The possibility of a retaliatory strike from these extraterrestrial beings is not something to be taken lightly. What do you think about these revelations, though? Do you believe we should be pursuing alien technology, or is it too dangerous?
Oi, tem gato, tem doido.
Imagine walking into your room and seeing a black cat doing this. Given how people often feel about black cats and associating them with superstitions and bad luck, you know anyone seeing this wouldn't be happy. This prompted the lady in question to start recording, and it only got worse with time. As you can see in the footage, the cat begins to twitch with its neck stretched out in an unusual manner. The woman understandably gets scared and keeps her distance while continuing to record. A commenter mentioned that the cat might be having a seizure, which is a plausible explanation for the strange behavior. Seizures in cats can look quite alarming, with twitching, muscle contractions, and unusual postures. If this is indeed a seizure, then this is sad. Are there any cat lovers or vets here? Can you confirm if we're dealing with a cat acting evil or one that needed its owners and they ran away? In Germany, a peculiar incident was captured on camera as a blue ray of light descended from the sky. The phenomenon occurred against the backdrop of the night sky, with the ray shooting down toward Earth. Some viewers suggested that it could be a directed energy weapon, a type of weapon that directs concentrated energy toward a target. The technology is often associated with advanced military systems and considered classified. Thankfully, though, this footage managed to make its way into the public domain. In the footage, we see it pointed to an area with houses all around. If this theory is to be believed, that thing is dangerous and human lives are at risk. The footage, however, shows no sign of chaos or destruction. Either it's not fired yet or the theory is wrong. If it's wrong, then the next theory is that it could be a laser from quantum satellite communication research. There are also some who think it's neither of these and it's simply a part of Project Bluebeam. What do you think? This unsuspecting man's encounter with a furry intruder turned out to be a hilarious mix-up. Never did I ever think I would call such an encounter hilarious. But enjoy.
Fucking raccoons getting in my trash can. Oh my god, that's a bear.
A man heard some noises outside his house where the trash cans were. Thinking it was a raccoon, he went out to confront the animal, but to his surprise, it was a bear rummaging through the garbage. Reacting swiftly, he hurried back indoors, realizing that dealing with a bear was an entirely different situation. I can only imagine the mixture of surprise, amusement, and perhaps a hint of terror at that moment. It's a classic case of mistaken identity. Nature has its way of reminding us of who truly rules the backyard, and from this footage, we can clearly see that mankind is merely a steward. Here's to our trash panda friend creating chaos and providing a good chuckle in the process. Have you ever had unexpected wildlife encounters in your backyard? Please share. Imagine being on a railway track and having a creature show up on it and refuse to move. This is what happened to these Russians who were simply going about their daily activities. We're not sure why the moose got on the track or why it's even refusing to move despite the loud horns, but you can't deny the fact that it's cute. If you were the one in charge of the train, what would you have done? Would you have been as patient as the ones in this footage, or would you have done something else? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. This footage has been all over social media, and no one seems to have a good explanation. In the footage, we can see what looks like a woman in a bikini on all fours, running and jumping effortlessly like an animal. No one knows who she is or why she's doing that. Without additional information, it's challenging to pinpoint the exact motivation behind the behavior captured in the footage. However, the allure of the mysterious often fuels speculation. Some see possession, while others see mental instability. What are your thoughts? Have you heard about the eerie incident that recently occurred in Istanbul? The whole city plunged into darkness during the day, and not for just a moment, but a whopping 5 minutes. And that's not the most bizarre of things that day. It turns out the whole thing was caused by a giant black cloud measuring a whopping 10 kilometers in size. How often do you see that? What on earth could cause such a mysterious blackout? Well, there are several factors that could potentially lead to a temporary blockage of sunlight, such as an unusual weather phenomenon, environmental factors, or even a large object passing in front of the sun. This appears to be one of those situations. That's assuming the whole thing is real and not a hoax. The mysterious and often perplexing question of what awaits us after death has fueled human curiosity for centuries. This next clip was captured by a hospital ward security camera. In it, we see a sick woman lying in her bed when a sudden and unexplained event takes place. A glowing arm extends toward her. For the family, this glowing arm wasn't just an ordinary phenomenon. They interpret this luminous arm as that of an angel, a celestial being that has come to guide the departed soul to its next destination. A realm often associated with notions of heaven and religious beliefs. Looking at this, everything within my gut says otherwise, but who am I to argue with the grieving family? But do indulge me. What are your thoughts on this? A man went out in the snow with his dog just to enjoy the winter. Suddenly, a wild moose appears. Now, most people would think, oh, well, it's just a moose. They're chill, right? Well, not this one. The moose decides to go full-on sprint mode toward the guy. Probably upset about something. Luckily, he moved out of the way. From what we can tell, this moose is not a morning person. The dog, on the other hand, seems to have a lot of energy because it starts to bark at the huge moose in an attempt to save its owner. Luckily, the moose did not attack any further, and the man called his dog, and both retreated to the comfort of their home. Stepping away from AI potentially becoming sentient, we have another footage that shows us something else that's become rather sentient. Something that would have been the least on our list. Take a look. Yes, that's an umbrella taking a walk in the street. If you asked me which would happen first, robot dictators or walking umbrellas, I would have thought you were joking. I mean, robots taking over the world seems more plausible than umbrellas going for a walk. Alas, here we are watching an umbrella take a walk. What do you think of it? Real, hoax, or something else entirely? Share your thoughts.
Minute encounter between a glowing blue barbell-shaped UFO, half the length of a football field in size, that came from 3 witnesses, including a Pentagon engineering contractor. This happened in southwestern Ontario in August 2013, about 11 years ago. One of the witnesses describing an indigo plasma that covered most of this craft, claiming the craft rotated slowly for about 6 or 7 minutes while emitting an electrical spark-like shower. One witness attempted to film the craft with his camera phone, only to get static when he did, despite the camera working before and after the encounter.
Back in 2013 in southwestern Ontario, 3 people witnessed a UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. One of the witnesses was a Pentagon official engineer, adding credibility and intrigue to the sighting. According to their accounts, there was a barbell-shaped craft in the sky. The initial photo taken was grainy, making it hard to discern details. However, after the image was enhanced and worked on, this is what they came up with. The barbell shape is unusual and unlike any known aircraft, which has fueled speculation and debate. Some suggest it could be a military secret project, while others lean toward the possibility of extraterrestrial origin. What do you think? Could this be an advanced human-made craft, or is it something from another world? A man takes a video of how he gets to his room when he gets home. It's not clear if he lives in a house or an apartment, but the turns and stairs he has to take make it look like a journey of doom. Take a look at what I'm talking about.
Oh shit. I'm here.
The path he navigates is like something out of our horror movie. Dimly lit hallways, creaky stairs, and narrow passages. Each step seems to lead deeper into a labyrinth. You can almost feel the tension as he moves through the shadows, the anticipation building with every twist and turn. When he finally reaches his destination, his room is very small. Just look at how confined the space is. The eerie walk to get there and the cramped quarters make it feel like he's living in a nightmare. If you think you've seen it all, just take a look at this. This creature was seen on the water's surface. An observer zoomed in to capture the moment, and you notice that this creature looks strange. Could it be a sneaky eel, smoothly moving through the water, or perhaps a dangerous sea snake gliding with deadly accuracy? Well, no one can say for sure, but Julius says it's definitely CGI generated. What do you guys think? In a calm river, something extraordinary happens. A man steps into the water and effortlessly glides for it, moving with remarkable speed and grace. Can I even call it gliding? It's almost as though he was hovering and just levitating through the water. How can this man move so smoothly through the water? It feels like driving a knife through butter. It's like he's being pushed by an invisible force, effortlessly cutting through the water with each graceful movement. Is he some kind of hybrid creature, part human, part fish, a mix of two creatures? Who knows?
Este se ve mejor. Hija de puta. Ajá. Se fue. Para que se veamos cuando sigamos. Para que vean de que no. Si alguien puede ver que se va, no se va. Ahí le entramos. Ahí se ve como una calavera. Aparece, ajá. Y desapareció. Desapareció.
A resident in San Juan province took this footage late at night when everyone else had retired to bed. The residents were about to go to sleep when they noticed a strange person standing in front of their house. From the second floor, the camera looked down at the mysterious figure. This strange person was dressed in a dark shirt and trousers. What made the scene even more eerie was that the intruder seemed to be holding something and, upon blowing on it, caused flames to emit. The flames danced for a moment before the person made them vanish, leaving the observer in awe and confusion. The figure's actions and appearance sure don't resemble a normal human. The resident, understandably shaken, shared the footage online, where it sparked a flurry of theories and speculations. Some viewers suggested it could be a street performer or someone playing a prank, but the eerie silence of the night and the mysterious behavior led many to believe something more sinister was at play. What do you think? Could this strange figure be a practitioner of dark arts, an entity from another realm, or simply an elaborate hoax?
Okay. Ajá. Se fue.
A woman by the name of Mandy from Massachusetts took to social media to share some haunting footage she captured on a door-ring camera. According to her account, she lives near the forest and has been hearing and experiencing strange things in her home. So she set up the camera to capture whatever it was. Take a look and listen carefully. There are strange scratching sounds and noises from something. It's like a grunt of some sort, but not really human. Most people are speculating that there could be a skinwalker out there, while some say it might be a Bigfoot, but skeptics just think she's making up the whole story. Personally, I don't think so, because at one point she even has to get the police involved. I doubt someone just making false stories for social media would go as far as getting the cops involved, unless, of course, she's that determined to come off as genuine. So what do you think we're dealing with here? Are these sounds evidence of a skinwalker or Bigfoot, or is there a more rational explanation? Share your thoughts. Just take a look at this. It's a waterfall of fire cascading down the mountain, creating a mesmerizing scene before my eyes.
It just won't stop.
This is the legendary Yosemite Firefall, a spectacle that occurs every year from mid to late February when the sunset hits Yosemite's Horsetail Fall at a particular angle, giving it the illusion of a molten lava-like stream of fire. The contrast between the bright orange and red hues of the firefall and the dark, rugged landscape of the mountain creates an awe-inspiring vision that's hard to replicate. The Yosemite Firefall is a phenomenon that has been captivating people's imaginations for decades. It's a rare occurrence, and it lasts only for a short period, making it all the more special. It's a remarkable reminder of how nature can be both beautiful and powerful, and it's an unforgettable experience for anyone lucky enough to have witnessed it. If the devil were to walk among us, perhaps this is the form he would take. This chilling encounter was reported by someone who stumbled upon this enigmatic being perched on a hill in the dead of night. With its back turned to the camera, the creature's silhouette reveals a pair of ominous wings unfurling from its back and a horn-like projection. While it's reminiscent of the gargoyle, this entity appears larger and more human-like, evoking an unsettling aura of malevolence. Could this truly be the devil manifesting in our midst, or is there another explanation for this unearthly presence?
Oh my gosh. He's talking.
I wasn't crazy.
No! What the heck? That's crazy.
Yeah.
What else could it say?
I don't know. I don't even know
Tweet,
what
tweet,
he's
tweet.
saying. Tweet, tweet. The bird is actually...
It is talking, I swear to God.
Two girls woke up in the morning to find an unexpected visitor on the roof of their car, a bird. But here's the thing, the bird was talking, and it wasn't a parrot. The bird kept repeating a phrase that sounded like, dig a tunnel. At first, I thought this might be some kind of government surveillance bird. You know, one of those conspiracy theories about fake birds being used to spy on people. But after doing a bit of research, I found out there's a much simpler explanation. It turns out there are other birds besides parrots that can learn to mimic human speech, and one of them is the mynah bird. Mynah birds are known for their abilities to learn and replicate sounds they hear frequently, including human speech. They're quite the chatterboxes and can be trained to speak just like parrots. So while it might seem strange and even a little creepy to find a talking bird on your car, it's just nature being fascinating. The next time you hear a bird talking, don't jump to conclusions about spy birds. Just appreciate the wonders of the animal kingdom.
What the heck? That's crazy.
Yeah.
What do you see when you look at this clip? I'm not the only one seeing these two blue blips, right? They remain stationary in the sky and do not move for the entire time this is being filmed. The only change visible is toward the last few minutes of the clip, where they change color from blue to white. Now, this has everyone in my team wondering, is this true footage, or is someone trying to pull a fast one on us? If this is true footage, what are they doing up there, and are we even safe? A couple were enjoying a peaceful camping trip in the forest until they discovered a strange print on the car window. Upon closer inspection, they realized it was a handprint that looked greasy and emitted an unpleasant odor. Initially, the man thought that his girlfriend was playing a prank on him, but she insisted that she had nothing to do with it.
I swear to God I'm not with you. That is what me up right there.
The handprint was slightly larger than that of a human and had distinctive features that resembled those of an animal, specifically a primate. It was a puzzling sight, and they couldn't help but wonder which animal could have left such a mark. Could it be a monkey, an ape, a gorilla, the legendary Bigfoot, or the famed and even more elusive Dogman? They carefully examined the print, trying to discern any clues that could help them solve this mystery. I have my own theories too, but today I want to hear yours. What do you think could have left such a mark? After a tsunami hit Japan, this creature was found washed up on the shores. It looks like a jellyfish without its tentacles. It was pinkish, and when someone used a stick to turn it over, they found the opening and its surface were sticky. As if this was not weird enough, someone decides to pour a bottle of Coke over this mysterious being, and to everyone's amazement, it reacts by shooting out white fluids. So what in the world could this strange creature possibly be? Is it a denizen of the deep, or perhaps it's an entirely new species previously unknown to science until this very moment? Our next clip is a tad disturbing and comes from a trail cam that has been left in the woods. Take a look. There was a strange man in a scary clown mask roaming through the forest. When he noticed the camera, he moved closer and put his face right up to the lens before continuing his eerie and creepy walk through the woods. Looking at how late it was, I don't think this clown is up to any good. Clowns, already a common fear for many, became even more terrifying when found lurking in dark, remote woods. The fact that he noticed the camera and deliberately approached suggests a level of awareness and perhaps even a desire to be seen. The isolated setting of the forest, combined with the late hour, makes this encounter particularly disturbing. It also raises several questions. Who is this person? What is he or she doing out there? And what are his or her intentions? A mother was out with her kids enjoying a day in nature when the children came running to tell her they'd seen something strange among the leaves. When she went over to take a look, she saw it, a bizarre-looking caterpillar with a human-like face. The creature was just lying there, staring right back at them. The shocked mother posted the footage online and it quickly went viral. Most internet users speculated wildly, with many saying it was probably an alien baby. Some commenters suggested it might be a rare, undiscovered species, while others thought it could be a caterpillar mutated by environmental factors. What are your thoughts on this? This next video could potentially offend some paranormal enthusiasts, but it does make some valid points. It features suspected Bigfoot footage that was released and debunked by a man. The creature in the footage looks strange and was reported to be a Bigfoot, but it looks nothing like your typical Bigfoot. The man used some sort of facial comparison technique to analyze the creature's facial features and proportions. The results showed that they didn't match those of a Bigfoot. Another thing that stood out was the way the creature blinked. It looked totally unnatural and not at all like how primates move their eyelids. The man concluded that the creature in the footage was animatronic, but that doesn't necessarily mean that every Bigfoot sighting is fake. Or, well, what do you think? So we received another perplexing footage. Take a look at it yourself. What do you see when you look at this? Well, the individual who sent this in believes he's captured none other than the legendary T-Rex. As much as I love dinosaurs, there's no way that's a T-Rex. Even if we can get over the size difference and how unstriking the supposed resemblance is, you have to agree that the movement is not one you would associate with a T-Rex. But then again, you see the clip too, don't you? What do you make of it? Next, we've got a celebrity, or rather criminal elephant that appears to have caused a traffic jam on the road. We've seen elephants beg for snacks from drivers in regions like this, but never have we seen one so intent on damaging or sitting on a vehicle. What do you think could have prompted the big guy to do something like this? An act of vengeance, perhaps elephants don't forget? Or is this big guy just being petty and wanting to sit on the vehicle? Frankly speaking, it's hard to say, but what does your power of deduction tell you about this clip? Here we have a hand holding a green bell pepper, but there's something unusual inside the vegetable. The thumb presses into the pepper, exposing a small hole, and you can see something moving inside. After a moment, something emerges. It's a huge brown insect with a black spot on its head. This insect is called Achymitrata tessellata. Discovering an insect inside your food is always unsettling, but this particular find is both fascinating and creepy. While entomologists might enjoy this, the everyday person would not. The Archimandrita tessellata, or giant peppered roach, while beautiful, can be scary if you hate bugs. Nonetheless, its large size and distinctive markings make it a striking and memorable sight. Bell peppers, like many fruits and vegetables, can sometimes harbor insects that burrow inside, looking for a safe place to hide or feed. It's a natural part of the ecosystem, though it's definitely startling to come across such a visitor in your produce. This image was taken in North Queensland, Australia. According to the witness, while walking through the bush, he spotted a strange-looking creature standing silently in the bushes staring back at him. He described the creature as not very big, but smaller than a human and covered in dark fur. The witness had never seen anything like it before. Fortunately, he was able to quickly snap a picture before the creature took off. The image is now being examined by experts to determine what the creature could be. While it's uncertain, some have speculated that it could be an Australian yowie, a mythical creature similar to Bigfoot that's said to haunt the Australian wilderness. Others believe it could be a previously unknown species of animal. At this point, no one knows for sure what the creature in the image is, but what do you think though? A yowie or something else entirely? Share your thoughts in the comments section. What do you think this is? The individual who sent it believed he'd run into a creature of the night, but after careful scrutiny... Wait, actually, no, there was no careful scrutiny here, just scrutiny. So after some scrutiny by me, I realized it was nothing but an owl. I mean, you guys can see it too, right? Wouldn't it have been funny if I made a whole section about a monster that was nothing more than an owl? Did you know stars can die? Someone captured a video of a bluish light in the sky resembling a splash of color. This phenomenon is related to the life cycle of stars, which are powered by nuclear fusion. Gravity holds stars together, counteracting the immense pressure from fusion reactions. This bluish light represents a star in its final moments, a spectacular cosmic event known as a supernova. When a star exhausts its nuclear fuel, it can no longer sustain the pressure needed to counteract the force of gravity. The star then collapses in on itself, resulting in a massive explosion that releases an immense amount of energy, creating that brilliant splash of color you see in the sky. The remnants of these stellar explosions often form beautiful nebulae, vast clouds of gas and dust that can eventually give birth to new stars. While this is beautiful, it's also a bit sad. It made me go out and look at our bright orange sun, wondering when that would also decide to give up on us. Call Elon a madman, but maybe, just maybe, he might be onto something that might save the entire human race in the near future. Think about it. In Mexico, a giant anomaly was spotted on the radar. This mysterious phenomenon appeared in the night sky and looked so out of this world that it quickly captured everyone's attention. It was a circle of light with smaller orbs, all shaped like saucers, creating an almost otherworldly display. People who witnessed it in real life were stunned, and the radar images only added to the intrigue. Some believe that this is just some sort of energy phenomenon, possibly related to natural atmospheric conditions, but others are convinced that this is a UFO or alien related, pointing to the distinct shapes and unusual behavior of the lights. What do you think? Is this an example of advanced alien technology visiting our planet, or could there be a more mundane explanation for these mysterious lights? Take a look at what this underwater camera captured. It's not just the lights falling from the intriguing sky, there's something massive lurking beneath the surface. This creature captured on the camera isn't your typical whale or shark. It bears a striking resemblance to prehistoric fish. It's as if a creature from the depths of time has resurfaced, adding another layer of mystery to the already perplexing events unfolding before us. What do you make of this unexpected discovery? Now, what do we have here? A fisherman went to sea, and among the usual catch, he found this translucent, insect-like creature wriggling in his net. Its strange appearance captivates those who see it, sparking curiosity and speculation. What could this creature be, and where did it come from? Some suggest it might be an extraterrestrial visitor from distant planets. Others propose it could be a new species yet to be identified. You have seen it too now, so what do you think? Meet the caecilian. These are often mistaken for giant worms due to their appearance, but they're actually limbless amphibians. Caecilians are fascinating creatures that many people have never heard of. They look like a cross between a worm and a snake, with smooth, segmented bodies that can grow quite large. Unlike worms, caecilians have a backbone, making them more closely related to frogs and salamanders. These mysterious amphibians live primarily underground or in aquatic environments, which is why they're rarely seen by humans. Caecilians have unique adaptations that help them thrive in their hidden habitats. For example, they have a strong bony skull that allows them to burrow through soil or sediment with ease. There's a popular rumor that the babies eat their mothers, but that's not quite true. While caecilian babies do not eat their mothers in the typical sense, they do exhibit a fascinating behavior known as dermatophagy, where the young feed on the mother's skin. In certain oviparous caecilian species, the mother grows a special nutrient-rich layer of skin after the eggs hatch, which the young scrape off and consume with specialized teeth. This skin-feeding behavior provides essential nutrients for the growing young and helps them develop more quickly. The mother is not harmed as the specialized skin regenerates, ensuring she continues to nourish her offspring until they are ready to fend for themselves. This unique form of parental care is a remarkable adaptation that aids in the survival of the young in environments where food may be scarce. Interesting, right? A security guard was working the late-night shift when he started to hear and feel strange things around him. Curious and a bit unsettled, he took out his camera and ventured into the hallway to investigate. As he panned his camera around, he captured something truly chilling. By that object over there, a dark figure appeared from the corner and peeked at him before vanishing. It was as if the figure was aware of being watched and quickly disappeared into the shadows. The footage shows a moment that would send shivers down anyone's spine. The figure's sudden appearance and disappearance are both mysterious and unsettling. What could this be? Was it a trick of the light, a shadow, or something more sinister? The guard was understandably spooked, and others who have seen the footage are just as baffled. What do you think this dark figure could be? Many stories have circulated about people who have allegedly captured footage of skinwalkers, but this particular video is especially intriguing. It shows a skinwalker during a transformation. The incident took place in the Skinwalker Ranch, where the person was walking through a deserted area when they stumbled upon a strange-looking creature perched on the rocks. At first glance, it seemed like a crouched human, but as the person kept filming, they noticed that the creature was transforming into a cat-like being. The transformation appeared to start from the feet and move up to the head. As the creature continued to transform, it became more apparent that this was a dark-colored panther. Once the transformation was complete, the panther jumped over the rocks and walked off into the wilderness. It was an eerie sight to behold, and the person recording the video was visibly shaken by the experience. This type of behavior is typical of skinwalkers, which are believed to be shapeshifters who can transform into any animal they desire. What are your thoughts on this intriguing and mysterious encounter? Another day, another UFO sighting, but this time with a twist. Witnesses report an unconventional craft hovering in the sky resembling an acorn. While saucers and octopus-shaped UFOs often dominate the reports, this sighting introduces a new and intriguing variation to the mix. The peculiar shape of the craft sparks a wave of speculation and intrigue among enthusiasts and skeptics alike. Could this unconventional design hint at a new wave of extraterrestrial technology, or is there a more earthly explanation waiting to be uncovered? Julius calls it fake, but what do you guys also think? Have you ever wondered about the eating habits of a Sasquatch? Most accounts suggest they eat berries and fruits. Deer hunters also report spotting the creatures lingering around their hunting sites after a kill, and people often find deer carcasses around Bigfoot hotspots. Is this all hinting that these ape-like humanoids are omnivorous, meaning that they eat both plants and animals like humans do? Reports from eyewitnesses and researchers often describe Sasquatch foraging for berries, nuts, and other fruits in the wild. This aligns with the diet of many large primates who rely on vegetation for sustenance. The presence of berry bushes and fruit trees in areas with frequent Sasquatch sightings supports this theory. However, the reports from deer hunters add an intriguing layer to our understanding. Hunters have observed Sasquatch near their hunting grounds, sometimes after a kill, suggesting that these creatures might scavenge or even hunt for meat. The discovery of deer carcasses in Bigfoot hotspots strengthens the argument that Sasquatch may have a diverse diet, including animal proteins. If Sasquatch is indeed omnivorous, this dietary flexibility could explain how they survive in various environments, from dense forests to mountainous regions. Here we have a close-up of someone's thigh, and the muscles are twitching intensely. This is definitely muscle spasms, and it looks very painful. To provide some context, muscle spasms or muscle cramps are sudden, involuntary contractions of a muscle or group of muscles. They can be extremely painful and may last for a few seconds to several minutes. These spasms can occur in any muscle in the body, but are most common in the legs, particularly the thighs and calves. There are many potential causes for muscle spasms. They can be triggered by overuse of the muscle during physical activity, dehydration, or a lack of minerals such as potassium or magnesium. In some cases, that might be linked to medical conditions like nerve compression, insufficient blood supply, or even certain medications. Seeing muscle spasms up close like this really highlights how intense and uncomfortable they can be. Have you ever had a muscle spasm? What was it like, and how did you deal with it? On the shores of an unknown location, this massive creature was discovered, and it looked quite peculiar. Its skin was covered with a thick layer of dust, which made it even more difficult to identify the exact species. The creature appeared to be deceased, and its eyes were bulging out, which was quite a disturbing sight. The size of the creature was enormous, which made it even more intriguing to examine. It's still unclear whether it's a new species of fish or an unknown creature that's been living in the depths of the sea. Further analysis and research are required to determine its exact origin and species, but what do you think it is? During this gathering, a small and unusual creature was present, unbeknownst to most of the attendees. The creature had striking animalistic features, particularly noticeable in its ears and face, which stood out from the typical appearance of cats or dogs. It was not a common pet, nor did it resemble a rag. A young girl who stumbled upon the creature identified it as a duende, a mythical creature from Latin American folklore. Despite the excitement surrounding the gathering, the creature remained unperturbed, sitting silently and calmly, observing the contestants as they prepared to swim. What do you think it was doing there? What would you have done if you were the one who'd noticed it? Let us know in the comments section. Now look at this, a video of a bull-headed sea lion. Yes, you heard that right. The creature has the body of a sea lion and the head of a bull, complete with horns and all. This bizarre creature is certainly a sight to behold. The juxtaposition of a sea lion's sleek aquatic body with the rugged, horned head of a bull creates an image straight out of mythology or science fiction. But in our age of advanced technology, such creations are often more digital than biological. AI and digital manipulation tools have become increasingly sophisticated, allowing artists and creators to blend reality and fantasy seamlessly. This bull-headed sea lion might be an example. What do you think? Take a look at these rocks at a waterfall and tell me what you see. The rocks are all shaped like snakes, giant snakes. Each and every one of these rocks looks like a giant serpent. Their forms are so precise and lifelike that it's hard to believe they could be natural. What could this mean? Were these massive snakes really existent at some point and ended up petrified or carved in by humans, or is this just a remarkable coincidence of natural formation? The idea of petrified giant snakes brings to mind ancient myths and legends where creatures of such magnitude once roamed the earth. Some cultures believe that petrification is a form of punishment or protection, turning living beings into stone. If these rocks are indeed remnants of giant snakes, it could lend credence to those old tales. On the other hand, nature has a way of surprising us with its creativity. Erosion, mineral deposits, and other geological processes can create astonishing shapes that mimic living forms. These snake-like rocks could be an example of pareidolia, where our minds interpret familiar patterns in random formations. On second thought, the subsequent formations are too intentional to have been created by natural means. My money is either on art by earlier civilizations or petrification. What say you? This video of a mysterious craft flying over Miami has caused some confusion and controversy. The footage was captured by an eyewitness who believed they had witnessed an unidentified flying object. However, others soon came forward to suggest that the craft in question was a military stealth bomber. It's not hard to see why the eyewitness might have been confused. The craft in question is sleek and black and moves with remarkable speed and agility. It's the kind of vehicle that looks like it could come from another planet. However, closer inspection reveals that it's a military aircraft. Despite the clarification, the sighting has caused some concern among locals. Miami has been on edge since an alleged alien sighting a few months ago, and many people are worried that this latest sighting might be evidence of a more sinister phenomenon. What do you think?
It was like using the force on a cursor.
Now let's talk about scientific interventions. Meet the first patient to undergo the groundbreaking Starlink brain transplant, a procedure that seems to be yielding promising results thus far.
Playing chess, and so this is one of the things that y'all have enabled me to do, something that I wasn't able to really do much the last few years, especially not like this.
Reports indicate that the patient's cognitive abilities have shown marked improvement, as evidenced by his adeptness at playing chess on the computer, an accomplishment he previously struggled to achieve. This early success raises intriguing questions about the potential enhancements in intelligence and cognitive function that may accompany the completion of the procedure. What do you think about the whole thing, and would you get one if you had the chance to?
Perfect. I would say that we have run into some issues. I don't want people to think that it is like this is the end of the journey. There's still a lot of work to be done, but it has already changed my life.
While at sea, on higher ground, someone captured something moving in the water below. It was long blonde hair swirling and making calculated movements on the water's surface. The owner of the hair was, however, nowhere to be seen, but judging by the waves and ripples around the hair, it was evident that something was swimming underneath with hair attached to it. Could this really be a mermaid down there, or is there a more logical explanation? The movements seem too coordinated and the hair too distinct to be just a human swimming, but then again, it could be my bias of wanting to see a mermaid. So what's your take? A genuine mermaid sighting, or just a swimmer with exceptionally long hair? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. A hiker who'd wandered a little too far into the woods came across something truly strange. Nestled among the trees was one that was twisted like a pretzel. But from the look of this, it doesn't seem like the tree naturally grew that way. Instead, it appears as if something huge twisted up the tree. What could have caused this? Many have speculated that such twists and bends in trees could be the signs of Bigfoot's presence, marking their territory or communicating with others. Others think it might be the result of powerful weather phenomenon or even human activity. Local legends and folklore often speak of creatures with immense strength, capable of bending trees and moving boulders. Could this twisted tree be another piece of evidence supporting these stories, or is there a more scientific explanation that we haven't considered yet? Share your thoughts. Let's dive into this unsettling footage taken by Daniel O'Neill, a YouTuber based in the UK who often shares videos of his solo camping adventures. In this particular video, something eerie unfolds, leaving viewers with more questions than answers.
Someone's been here. There's a lot of rubbish around here. Yeah, look at the state of this.
It started off as a typical day for Daniel. After wandering through the woods, he found a spot to set up camp for the night. He settled in, brewing some coffee and waiting for his noodles to cook. Everything seemed normal until the unsettling moment occurred. Did you hear that? The sound of steady footsteps echoed through the trees. Daniel, puzzled, looked around but saw no one. Concerned but trying to stay calm, he called out, "Hello?" And just like that, the footsteps stopped. It was as if someone or something was watching him and didn't want to be seen. Thinking it might have been his imagination, Daniel returned to his meal, but the sound started again only to stop abruptly once more. As day turned into night, the unease grew. The footsteps returned, this time louder and more deliberate. At this point, fear took over. Daniel decided he wasn't going to risk spending the night there. He quickly packed up his gear and moved to another spot, hoping to find some safety. This situation is beyond chilling. Imagine being alone in the woods, hearing footsteps that shouldn't be there, knowing you're miles away from anyone else. It's enough to make everyone's blood run cold. What or who was out there? If it was a person, they were definitely stalking him, and that's a terrifying thought. But what if it wasn't a person? Could it have been something else, something unexplained?
I'm going to be honest. I can't stay here now. I'm going to be a wimp. I don't care if people call me a wimp in the comments, but I can't stay here.
And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.